What is going on? All right. So we should be good now. What's up, everybody?
Oh, mute.
Hey, right on time. Yeah. What's up, everybody? Hey, we out here. What's up? All right. So we got we're back with episode 2, baby. Who would have thought it would have lasted 2 episodes, right? So last week
Two whole episodes on time and not at that. Let's
on
go.
time, dude. We're adults now. We're professionals. We're responsible adults. So yeah, if you don't know, this is a slice of life featuring Slicer and Slaine. Let me know if the audio is good. If our cameras are wonky or anything, let me know. Um, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy. So we're gonna be talking about. Last week we talked a lot about life topics, a lot about our experiences as 25-year-old men who are about to be 26 this month. We're getting old, man. We're getting boomer
Fast.
status. And this week we're actually gonna talk about a little bit about Nintendo, everything that drama. It's a bunch of drama, so you're gonna like it. Even if you don't know what's going on, you're gonna love this. Smash community drama as well. And then after that, we're gonna give some relationship advice slash answer the chat slash give our own experience, our own advice from our experiences and all that. So yeah, Slaine, what's up? How you doing?
I just gotta get for the sub.
Oh,
I was like, wait,
whoa,
what?
yo, thank you, Lightbite.
What is up, my people? Y'all know I love talking my shit. I love talking my talk, but I also love learning. So I'm always really hyped about doing this show. Even though this is only our second week, like I spent 6 days getting hyped for this
What is
show, man,
going on?
because
All right,
it
so we
it just
should
be
be
so
good
much
now. What's
shit
up,
that I'd be
everybody?
like, I gotta say this on camera and put my face behind it, because Twitter just ain't doing it for me. So I'm hyped and I'm ready, man. Let's get into these topics.
All right, Slaine, make sure you mute your. I think I heard myself on your end. I'm not sure though.
Okay,
Hey, right on
now I
time.
know what
Yeah.
happened. I
What's
got
up,
you.
everybody?
I'm gonna just turn this.
All
All
right, we
right,
good?
that should be cool.
We
But
out here.
let's
What's up?
go. I'm hyped.
All right, thank you, Lightbite, for the sub gift, and Richie, yo, thank you guys, thank you everybody. So let's get right into All this. right, so we
So
got. Oh, I can still hear we're myself. back with episode 2,
I'm turning it
baby.
down still.
Who
Go
would have
ahead.
thought it would have lasted 2 episodes, right? Oops, that was me. My bad. All right, so we should be good now. Let me just get rid of this. Bring back the dock. All right, cool. So, if you are not familiar with our way of doing this podcast slash stream, so basically we're just going to be talking. We're going to be answering your questions eventually. So if you have a question, just put it in the chat. We're going to get to it for sure. We're gonna basically how it goes usually is I just share my thoughts or Slaine does, then we switch, and then we just talk with the chat, see what the chat thinks about all this. All right. What happened, Slaine hosting this episode? There were some technical issues with Slaine's stream, so hopefully next week,
I
right,
was
Slaine?
too lazy to set up my scenes. All right.
I was trying to be nice with the technical difficulties, but yeah.
I was too lazy to do all the graphic shit.
But yeah, so let's start off with this week's topic. So, number one, should we continue to support Nintendo? So I'm sure most of you guys know what's going on with Nintendo. There's a bunch of drama going on right now. So let's go on to the first tweet, or I don't know, Slane. Do you want to talk about it first, and then we go into the tweets, or what do you think?
Yeah, 'cause I got some choice words for Nintendo. For Nintendo to be like one of the gaming industry titans, like they're a household name. Everybody knows what Nintendo is. My father knows what Nintendo is. Whenever I'm playing the game, my father says, "Man, turn off that Nintendo." I could be playing Xbox, I'll be on my computer, but according to my father, I'm always playing Nintendo. So this is where my problem comes into play because I've supported Nintendo as a company for so long. I'm like highly invested into this company. So for me to keep giving them money, they got to keep giving me products that I deem worthy of spending my money on. But and I would say, yeah, they deliver that. They got some pretty good stuff that us to spend money on. But this is where it comes into play. Now Nintendo is becoming a company with business ethics that I cannot support. I don't give Apple any of my money because I don't support their business ethics. I don't give EA any of my money because I don't support their business ethics or their business model.
Riot, don't
And
forget
now
Riot.
Nintendo, yeah. I quit Riot and
Yeah.
I quit League of Legends and I don't play Valorant with you guys because I don't like the way Riot treats their employees or their business ethics. So now Nintendo's on a chopping block because they're starting to do a lot of things directly into the communities I'm a member of, and I'm like, well, damn, should I continue giving them my money to support these ethics or lack thereof? And these coming up tweets, man, it's not looking good for them boys.
Yeah, so let's get right onto the first one. So basically, this all happened. This one happened last week, I believe. Let me know if you can see it.
Big House I think was 2 weeks ago. Big House happened
Oh, okay.
before our
Oh yeah,
that
Summit.
was yeah. This was before our first show. Oh, the frames.
There
All
it
right, let me.
is. So I don't know if you guys can read it, but basically, let me summarize this. So Big House is a big Smash tournament that happens every year. It's one of the biggest ones. It's one of the ones that people look up to because the TOs are really, really good. The tournament sets are always hype. There's never any bad issues with these types of tournaments. And the Big House is basically where like that's where the melee players go to. It's like their thing. So for Ultimate, I guess I don't know. I guess we don't have a exclusive Ultimate tournament, but for the melee players, the Big House is where they always want to go every year. So what happened this year is that you know how everything is online due to COVID. So melee got this online compatibility ability to play online. So this one guy he quit his job. He programmed melee online and then everybody was super hyped because it ran really good. So everybody got to play Melee online now with little lag. And then they were gonna host a big tournament at the big house. And then like a few weeks before it happened, we got this notice from Nintendo. Basically, Nintendo told the big house, "Hey, you can't have Melee." And then the big house told Nintendo, "Yeah, we're gonna have Melee. We don't care." And then that's when they ordered a cease and desist order, I believe it's called. So that's when Nintendo just put their foot down and say, no, you're not gonna run Melee or Ultimate on that. So it's not only Melee; they banned Ultimate as well from that tournament. So then they had to put out this notice. So that looks really really bad in my opinion from Nintendo because literally people are buying Smash Ultimate to play this, to train for this. Um, Melee is another story, but who's actually going to buy Melee right now? All the copies have been sold. They're not making any more Melee copies, so it doesn't hurt them at all. But for Ultimate, this only benefits Nintendo, and I don't see why they would do this. So that looks really really bad on this company. What do you think, Slaine?
Son, man, this is where like everything hit the fan for me because I'm a member of a bunch of different communities, VGC included, and I've watched more Melee. I watched a lot more Melee than I watched Ultimate. I so for Nintendo to just let's backtrack a little bit. So first of all, the reason this happened was because the Slippy Melee program. It was pretty much Melee. They had net play through Dolphin originally, but a bunch of Melee players complained about like various forms of lag, and the game didn't play. It didn't feel like genuine Melee to them. So, but the guy who quit his job and designed the Slippy program, and it had like rollback net coding and it had really solid online. It gave melee players a way to play genuine melee online during this epidemic. So um, I'm gonna close this. Yeah, so it was like okay, great. We can still have melee tournaments in 2021, and we can still enjoy our game and our community. And Nintendo is notorious for shutting down like fan made games because for whatever reason they just don't appreciate when people take an art like their art form and transform it in any way. This happened with another Metroid Remake 2 way back in the day. This happened through various emulators and fan made games like Pokemon and stuff. And now they're doing it with Melee to where they shut down like arguably the biggest Melee tournament of the year just because they were going to be using the Slippy program as opposed to genuine copies of Melee. And it just makes no sense to me, like because like this, I don't think Big House isn't a Nintendo like sponsored event or sanctioned event, and I don't believe there was like a pot bonus from Nintendo. So what about this situation made Nintendo feel some kind of complex like this could reflect negatively on them in any way, like in any way, shape, or form? This is only publicity. for Nintendo. It's Melee. It is gonna bring in like lots of just attention, and especially being like an online tournament and everyone's at home. What else we gonna do but watch Melee and play
Yeah.
Melee? Like this is only a net gain for Nintendo. But again, they just don't like people taking their IPs and doing fan stuff with them. So they put out that cease and desist or just for literally no reason other than to just make people mad. And
Yeah.
here's the kicker though. Here's the fucking kicker is after Big House got this cease and desist, that weekend we had Melee Summit.
Yeah.
Um yeah, like so they Nintendo didn't send the order to Summit. So they understand that people can play Melee online. They understand people have fun playing Melee online, and they definitely like the attention and all of the residual revenue that's gonna come from that attention of people playing Melee online. So it just begs the question, like, why did they feel the need to tell Big House, "No, y'all can't have Melee or Ultimate," and then have Summit that weekend? Like, it was just such a hypocritical move, and it was just like this just got the ball rolling for for me. It was like, do I want to continue supporting Nintendo as a company because now they're starting to show, their ethics and their values toward the community of their games. Like
Yeah.
what other Nintendo game? Like Melee is 20 something years old. It came out with like 2000, 2001. Melee is my age damn near. And people still play this game. It gets a lot of publicity. People are still buying and rotating the copies of Melee that are already manufactured and out there. 2001, appreciate you. Yeah, so Melee is 20 years old, going on 21, and like people are still actively supporting this game, whether it be from buying stuff, merchandising, continue to support Nintendo. Just like, there's so much of Nintendo. Oh, I don't want to say it like that. I feel like there's a very huge spotlight on this one particular IP that Nintendo owns that they're just not appreciating because they can't capitalize on it the way that they feel they should. And it's just like it's similar to the way Apple slows down their older models to force you to
Oh
buy the
yeah.
new ones. It's so shady. It's like they want. It feels like they're pushing Melee players into buying Ultimate and playing Ultimate because it's like yeah, like they're doing all of these things to pretty much shut down the Melee scene that they're not doing for Ultimate. So it just begs the questions like, do they want the Melee players to transition into Ultimate and to buy Ultimate? Because they definitely don't want them doing anything with non-physical copies of Melee. And there are only so many of those that can go around because they're not in production anymore.
Yeah, I feel like if they could, they would update Melee to make it less fun, slower, like badly playable. They would update it to basically get everybody mad. So that's not all that happened. So let me get. So if you guys have any questions in the chat, um, or your input, let us know. Also, one more thing: if you got any booze, you can join us. We're out
Pull
here
up,
drinking.
drink.
If you're of age, of course. So come through and join us. Take a shot if you have to. So let's get to the next tweet because that's not all that happened these past few
Yeah, so
days.
after this cease and desist, I'm gonna let you bring up the tweet, but it's pretty much it's a tweet chain, and I'm not reading all of that shit.
Yeah,
But
just
pretty much what happened was there's somebody made an anonymous Twitter account with insider information from working at Nintendo or being like a smasher who consequently had some kind of Nintendo information. And he put out this super long ass just twit longer and thread about all of the shady things that Nintendo has done to essentially de-support Smash and like the Smash scene. I didn't read it. I watched a couple of videos about it, and TLDR, Nintendo is trash.
wait. You didn't read this?
Like, nah, I
I
didn't
I,
read it.
I read it.
Okay,
Um,
I'll let you speak. Then go ahead.
so basically, so this actually I've experienced this on a 1v1 level in real life because what this tweet longer said is basically that you know how Nintendo has a lot of ambassadors throughout the country. So what they do
Mm-hmm.
is they're the guys who go to Best Buy, they go to Walmart, they're like, hey little kid, come play our new game. Um, I mean, no, that might sound a little bit creepy, but it's not creepy at all. It's just
Hey kids, come play Smash.
no, they're just trying to get people to play the game, the newest game, and that's all it is. But what happens is that Nintendo sent all of them a letter, not a letter, just a notification, and they let them know, like, low key. They said, "Hey, dude, low key, if you see that people are complaining about the game, they're not happy about the game, or they actually mention melee, or if they're melee players, kick him out." So it wasn't like kick him out, but let them know that basically grab the controller and give it to another kid. And what happened is that this ambassador, he saw this and he didn't like this. So whenever he says his experience was that whenever this happened, the melee players are always kind. They never disrespected or anything. But he had to give the controller to somebody, like basically take the controller away, and always give the controller to the nicest person there. So especially if they are doing a review or if they're recording or anything, make sure
Mm-hmm.
that that Nintendo is basically caught in a spotlight where they could be praised. So that's what Nintendo
Yeah.
did, and I do see this because my friend is actually a Nintendo ambassador. He was here at the. I don't know if you came to my tournament back in February, the one at the YMCA.
Nah. Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I was
You
there.
were
I
there,
was
right?
there.
Yeah, yeah. So the Nintendo
I got
guy,
slapped. What?
my friend was there, and he was an ambassador, and he was basically doing that with the Fitbit game. I forgot what it's called. The
Oh, the Ring
the
Fit.
Ring Fit. Yeah, yeah, that thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
and I could see everything that this tweet longer said. Like, my friend has told me, he hasn't told me like this happened, but he's let me know that, hey, if I see little kids, or if they're nice people praising the game, having fun, I'm gonna let them play longer. And I didn't think any of it. I was like, okay, cool, that's your preference. But it's actually Nintendo pressuring them to not let melee players or
Okay.
people who don't enjoy the games just play the games in those stations. So it's a lot of I don't know. It's like low key. It does not make Nintendo look good at all.
Not at all. Like, look, I understand that, they're a business. They got to get publicity, and they want that publicity to be good publicity. So whenever you have like these stations and game tutorials like set up, you want to have like consequently you're gonna have people like taking pictures and videos and all of that, and you want all of um those media sources that you can't control to be as positive as possible. You don't want nobody sitting there talking about, oh man, my arms are tired from this Ring Fit game. This game is trash. Like,
Yeah.
no, you want to have little like the smiling kid with the super big, like I'm like, mom, I want this for Christmas. Like, yeah, you want to have that guy constantly in the spotlight. But like at the same time though, it's like whenever whenever you have practices that take away from like your community, like, whenever you have practices that take away from your main consumers, then I can't respect you as a businessman.
Mhm. Let's go to the next one. I forgot what it is. I don't know if you remember. What happened after this?
The next one's the Splatoon thing.
Oh, the Splatoon thing. This just happened this week,
Hmm.
actually.
Yeah, so this is where it's getting more recent now as time goes on.
Yeah.
So
You want to explain it?
post summit and post cease and desist for Big House, now we have there was a Splatoon tournament that happened. I want to say this past weekend or like a little bit before the weekend.
Mhm.
There's this Splatoon tournament that happened. I don't follow Splatoon at all. All right, I follow a bunch of competitive games. Splatoon ain't one of them. I'm sorry.
Yeah, me neither. I'm sorry, Blitz. I know you love Splatoon.
I tried following Splatoon when it was new, and just I didn't see it being an esport at all.
Yeah.
It seemed way too random to be like competitive and to have a meta.
Mhm.
But apparently they're still doing tournaments. And in one of these tournaments, they had a top eight where like it says 30% in the tweet, but it was really 50. They
Yeah.
had four out of their top eight teams had they were named like things
Free
along the
melee.
lines of, yeah, like they were along the lines of support melee in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's a free melee, save melee, squad melee, something like that. But four of the top eight teams were supportive of the melee community, and Nintendo pretty much they shut them down. They was like, nah, y'all can't do it. They canceled the stream.
Yeah, they were gonna have
How
a
do
big
you cancel
screen.
the?
Exactly. They were gonna
Like
have a
they
big
straight up
stream.
canceled the live stream of their top 8 for their tournament because 4 teams said gang gang melee all day. Like
Oh,
this,
and you know what the prize was? Did you see that, bro?
what
It
was
was
it?
a 25% gift, $25 gift card for Amazon or something. That was the
25.
that was the
Man,
number one
y'all trash.
prize, first place
Yeah,
prize.
Nintendo, y'all trash. Imagine playing through this whole ass bracket, going through all this stress. You finally win. You the top Splatoon team on the stream, and they give you $25. How much time do you think these players spent and invested in getting good at Splatoon and then playing through their pools, playing through their bracket, getting the top 8, winning this tournament? How many hours of content did Nintendo just gain off the backs of all of these teams? And how
Yeah,
do they reparate with a $25 Amazon gift card or a Nintendo eShop gift card?
and
That's fucking trash.
Blitz has a good point in chat.
That's below Apple in my opinion. That's I've never seen or heard of Steve Jobs paying somebody $25 to give him so much attention and limelight. Like
Yeah, that makes no
that's
sense.
grimy.
And
That's
Blitz brings up a good point. He says that they acted on their own. So that's honestly the craziest part because nobody told them to do this. It just happened, and the next morning they canceled the event. Everybody on Twitter just got it got rolling on Twitter. It got a bunch of likes and it went viral. Jay says, What happened with Melee?" Jay, we just explained it. Basically, what happened is that you need a backstory. You weren't here. So what happened is that Nintendo doesn't like the new online Melee called Slippy, and they told the Big House that, "Hey, Big House, you can't run Melee." And then they told him, "Hey, you can't run Ultimate either." So then the Big House had to shut down and be canceled. So then all the community got really mad at that. So that's what happened in a nutshell.
AJ. AJ. If you was on time, you would know this already. Black people. You feel me?
And Colin is
But
giving
yeah,
us more details. Thank you, Colin.
oh yeah, so after those 4 teams pretty much got kicked out of the top 8 for supporting Melee, Nintendo asked the next 4 teams who didn't qualify for top 8 or top 4. Nintendo asked the next 4 teams that, hey, look, we got 4 spots. Do y'all want to play in this bracket or no? Y'all trying to get these $25? Like you want to play this, get your redemption? And then those teams also said no.
Yeah.
So shout out to the Splatoon
Let's
community, man,
go.
because I ain't gonna hold you. I did not support the Splatoon community, but they definitely had our backs when I didn't have theirs. So I might have to get into some Splatoon.
Okay, I see. Yeah,
Them boys might actually be.
that's not gonna make me play Splatoon because it's not my kind of game. But I really respect the community for that. That was super cool to
I'm
see.
definitely. I'm not playing. I'll never play that game again. It was way too wild,
Yeah.
and the kids on that game are toxic. They're not quite league toxic, but they toxic. Like if you trash or if you new, they gonna let you know. And, and then they got art in the game. They will draw you being trash. Like them kids are
Oh,
not playing.
look what we got next, bro. This one was sad.
Yeah, this is where I almost drew the line.
Yeah.
So let's see. Let me find this tweet. This is
D number 4, I think. Yeah.
all right. So I'm not really gonna get into everything that happened with Etika and his situation. May he rest. But pretty much what happened was there's a Twitter user, Mystic Melody, who was selling Nintendo Switch. She was selling that they were selling Joy Cons, custom Joy Cons, in the likeness of the community that Etika had established for himself. And in the midst of selling these controllers and advertising, they weren't even the controllers.
They
It
were
was
just
just the
shells.
shell.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were just the shell around the controller. So you could buy official Nintendo controllers. Oh, shit. Yeah,
Dang.
you would buy official Nintendo Joy-Con controllers, and he would just put new shells on them to show that you were a member of Etika's community and you supported him in life and after his passing. And Nintendo hit it hit it with a cease and desist. They was like, "Hey, yo, we got the copyright for these. You can't do this no more. Shut it down. Everything you ain't sold yet, put it in the box." No, he said everything you already have on hand, you can finish selling at a much reduced price on some some platform that's not Twitter or Reddit, and you're not allowed to produce anymore or else.
And this was all going to
And
charity, actually. All the profits were going to charity. Everything, 100% of it,
all
towards
of it, or
all of it, towards a mental health charity. Yeah, that's what got me. Like,
I
bro,
can't.
it's
I
crazy.
don't. I don't think it was all of it. I don't think it was all of it going to because he has to pay for production and shipping costs.
Oh, wait,
So
wait,
I would
wait.
say yeah. I would say like a good. I would say a good amount of the profit were going to charity, but there's no way I can see all of it going to charity.
I mean, a big part of it did.
Yeah, as I said, a big part of it, but definitely not all of it. But yeah, so he was doing this, to raise awareness. It was for a good cause and just to provide something for Etika's community. This had no this had no backlash for Nintendo. Like,
No cons.
yeah, there was no cons because you have to buy official Nintendo controllers before you buy the shells. It's like there was nothing about this that says Nintendo would lose money or be defamed in any way or have an inferior product comparatively. There was nothing about this harmful for Nintendo, to my knowledge.
No, yeah.
And not,
No Joy Cons.
Nintendo, yeah, Nintendo pretty much told them, he said, take it down and don't do it no more, or we're gonna take legal action. Here's our copyright. We can do this. Gang, gang. We're bigger than you. It was like,
Yeah.
why?
So we're still on the first topic. We're 30 minutes in. We gotta hurry up a little bit. But if you guys have
Man,
any, I don't know. It's a good conversation though. Even though I think we can all agree that Nintendo looks really bad without these decisions. So the next one is
yeah, so
Omni. Oh no,
they're
actually,
definitely starting to show. I don't want to say they're showing their true colors, but they're starting to show a side of their business that I do not like. And if I'm gonna continue supporting Nintendo as a company, they're gonna have to do something. Cause wait, I don't follow Omni. Damn. Okay, they're gonna have to do something because just the way that they're going right now, I don't like this. And I'm straight up like I was gonna buy the new Hyrule Warriors game this weekend, and I'm definitely starting to rethink that decision. Cyberpunk coming out cost about the same. I
yeah,
might be going and buying Cyberpunk instead of Hyrule Warriors because Nintendo at this point does not deserve my patronage.
yeah. So basically, what this tweet is saying is the same thing. It's just more information, right? Omni's just saying it's the same thing basically. Yeah, Omni's all right. I don't follow him that much, but I've seen some of his videos. Yeah,
That's my
Collins.
dude.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
what?
that's coming a little later.
Yeah. So what happened next is what's the next one? Let's see.
Next is
This
just Smash grievances. Oh wait, no,
no
it's
no
coming
no
up
number
right
F,
now.
the last one.
Number
So
F.
number F. Oh wait, is this the?
Yeah,
Yeah, soundtracks.
this is the thing.
Yeah. So what happened
So
today? Yeah, you want to explain it?
yeah, this is today, right?
Yeah.
Oh wait, hang on. I didn't know this. Okay, so check this out, right? So last year, this same YouTuber got hit with a metric fuck ton of copyright strikes from using music from various Nintendo titles. Like I see Brawl, I see Ocarina of Time, I see Super Mario Bros. So this is a year ago. He got hit for a bunch of copyright strikes for using Nintendo's music, and ultimately what he had to do was take those videos down and demonetize them. I keep saying they took down those videos, demonetized them, whatever they had to do to avoid their channel being shut down, just based on the copyright claims. Well, today they announced that Nintendo has also IP banned a bunch of their soundtracks to include Mario 64, Oh Time, Mario Kart Wii. So it's like
All that
they're
music.
just making
Yeah.
they're making steps in continuing their fuckboy behavior. It's like who the fuck
This makes no sense
who
either.
is
None
finna
of them.
pay you to
Yeah.
listen to Mario Kart Wii music? Who is finna pay you to listen to Mario 64 music? Who is finna pay you to listen to Ocarina of Time music? I watch a different Ocarina of Time speed run every day almost, and I'm not finna just stop watching these streams or start paying Nintendo royalties just because like their music is playing while I'm watching the game. Like, no.
Yeah, this is another decision this week that makes really no sense. It feels like Nintendo just wants to make people mad, and it's what's going on right now because, like you said, who makes money? Like, who's gonna pay for Mario Kart music? I mean, we all enjoy it, but nobody wants to pay for it. And how even? Is there even a way to pay for it? Like, no, not really. So this makes no sense on their part, and it's just a bunch of things that's happened these past few days that's making people question whether they should continue to support Nintendo or not. What about you guys, chat in the chat? Are you guys gonna
Wait.
continue to support Nintendo, or
Colin asked me if I know who this channel is, and I have no idea. So I'm looking at it, and their entire channel is pretty much just the songs. Like,
yeah?
so I guess this is it's kind of like a library, a music library of Nintendo. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news on this one, but if any of this is monetized, then you he might have to demonetize, bruh. Like, if he was producing content with the music, or if he was like doing his own spin on the music. I keep saying he. If they were spinning music on the music, then it'd be great. And see, I fuck with me, man.
Get
The problem is just Nintendo has to put them.
head as Team
Nintendo
Nintendo.
doesn't put their music anywhere, so it's up to yeah. Okay, yeah. So it's not monetized, but Nintendo's copyright claiming all of the music, and Nintendo themselves are not putting the music up anywhere.
Yeah.
Is what he's saying. So I learned me something just now, and but again, in this specific situation, you can be mad at Nintendo, but they're not wrong necessarily because, like I said, they do have the copyrights and patents and all of the legal docs for all of this music. So if you're sharing this music without their permission, then you kind of can't do that, regardless of intentions or something like that. You can't do that. Yeah, it is a big fuck you, but it's like
Yeah.
it's their shit.
So what's your? I guess Slaine already answered the question, Hera. Are y'all gonna continue to support? I guess Slaine, your answer is no.
For right now, my answer is no.
Okay.
Nintendo doesn't get any more because, especially right now, where I don't have the same amount of money I can just throw around and blunder as I used to.
Mhm.
So um, I'm more stingy about the products that I'm choosing to spend money on. And Nintendo ain't they're not on the list
So
right now. And
for
so I was
me,
I was gonna buy the new Hyrule Warriors game.
yeah.
I'm not buying it. I'll probably play Cyberpunk instead when that comes out tomorrow. Um, the all of the DLC fighters that come out for Smash, I'm pretty sure I got the season pass. But if Nintendo decides to be a hoe again and release more content outside of the pass, I'm not buying the next one. Um,
So
any new IPs?
I see
Go
where
ahead, go
Heda's
ahead. I'm
going with
sorry.
this. So he's gonna say, "Are you gonna cancel your online then?" I see where he's going with this.
I'm pretty sure. I either bought like that the yearly subscription or it's set to auto pay. I have to check. I
All
gotta
right.
check. But if it's set to monthly auto pay, oh yeah, I'm canceling that shit. But if I bought the yearly subscription already, then they already got my money. I'm not gonna renew it though at this point. No,
Okay.
no more grills. Look, man, nah, I'm definitely getting the ice. All right, just wait on it. I'm,
So for
I'm coming
me,
ice out, blinged out.
when I try to answer that question, like I want to say no, but I'm being realistic, and honestly, I am gonna buy the next DLC. And if a new Zelda game comes out, I might buy it. But like, I'm not happy supporting the company, but you know everybody's gonna buy it. Like the
But see, that's
sales are
that.
not gonna go
No, no,
down,
no, no. You
honestly.
can't do that. You can't do.
Why?
So that's kind of the way that they want everyone to react. It's supply and demand. They give you something and they hope you buy it just because the demand for it is high. And if everyone's buying it, then no one wants to be an individual and say, "Well, I don't want to buy it. Everyone else is buying it." So I can't convince everyone to collectively stop buying Nintendo stuff because, like I said, they're an industry titan. Like Nintendo's a household name, but they won't be getting any of my money. As much as I love Zelda games, as much as I want to play, as much as I want to buy. What do they have that the Mario bundle where it was like the Galaxy games and then Mario 3D Land or something like that. I want to buy that, I
Mhm.
didn't play the Galaxy games. I want to play Galaxy. I want to play Mario Odyssey, which was either Game of the Year or almost Game of the Year. Like I want to buy and play these games and enjoy them, but I refuse to
Uh huh. So
because I can't support Nintendo and their business ethics. And if more people stop supporting Nintendo, or if
yeah,
enough people stop supporting Nintendo, then they can either one, change the way they do business, or two, go out of business.
I'm
That's the way
actually.
you hit companies like this.
I mean, honestly, if we're being realistic, Nintendo's not gonna go out of business. They're not gonna suffer. I don't think. I don't know. What does the chat think? Because I don't think so. And this reminds me of the Chick-fil-A dilemma. Like, Chick-fil-A stands for a bunch of bad things. Anti-LGBTQ. I think they supported Trump for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't.
Chick Fil A is Chick Fil A is on that list of companies that doesn't get my money.
Okay,
So
and
look,
that's a personal decision, honestly. Because.
yeah. So look,
Uh huh.
I can't force them to go out of business.
Yeah.
I can't force anyone to stop supporting their business. All I can do is say they won't get my money. And here's the reason why. That's all I can do as a person. If more people did what I did, then yeah, there's a chance they go out of business, or there's a chance that they lose that title as an industry titan. But I, as one person, can't force that to happen. All I can do is say Nintendo isn't getting any more of my money unless they change. So
All right.
realistically, that doesn't hurt Nintendo
Yeah.
as much as I hope it would, but
Yeah.
it does make me feel like a better person.
Exactly, that's my point.
I'm
I think it's a personal
Yeah,
decision because if you feel good about it, good. Support it. Don't support it because yeah, I would be in the same place as you. But if I'm being realistic, if I'm being honest, I don't like what Nintendo stands for right now. But like my not buying the like me not buying the game is not gonna affect them one bit, and that's why I'm just gonna like buy the new DLC because it's not gonna affect them at all. And I wish it did. Honestly, I wish it did affect them because I wouldn't, but it's not going to. So that's why I just eat the Chick-fil-A sometimes, maybe once a year, or buy the new DLC. Because honestly, it's a personal decision. If it makes you feel better, then keep doing you. But I'm just being realistic, and I'm yeah, that's my point of view.
that's respectable. That's respectable.
And I feel like we're on the same side, but I just wish I could have that self fulfillment of not supporting a company like that. And I
Then
honestly,
don't.
no, I
Like
don't
if
get that fulfillment or satisfaction like you, because you say if you don't get the new next DLC, if you don't get the next game, you feel good about yourself not supporting that company, and I don't. I feel like I don't care. Like it's not hurting them at all, so why bother? That's how I feel, even though I don't agree with them. But it's a personal decision. I
because
don't. Yeah. What do you?
just because it's not hurting them
Mhm.
to a degree, this is something I learned from women. Just because you do something and it doesn't hurt the person, or the it doesn't hurt the other entity to a certain degree, hurting them even in the most minuscule amount is a lot better than
In what way is it better?
supporting them.
In what way though? In a personal
So
level.
I'm gonna put it like this, right? So human trafficking.
Hmm.
This is a super extreme example, but no, like I don't support human trafficking.
No,
No
no.
one should support human trafficking. But human trafficking is arguably the biggest industry in the world. So just because I don't support human trafficking doesn't hurt the industry, but the fact that I don't support it makes me feel better about myself
That do-
compared to if I was just to be another person saying, "Oh, well, everybody else likes to buy people. Maybe I should buy people. I'm single. I'm
I,
lonely. I can just buy a wife." But like,
I don't think
that's a
those.
very extreme. That's a very extreme example. But like, so let's say Chick Fil A. We understand that
Yeah,
Chick
Chick
Fil A
Fil A that
is
makes sense, but human trafficking, I don't think it
yeah,
makes sense at
they're
all.
Chick Fil A. Yeah, they're racist. They're Trump supporters. They're they have very strong like biblical views, and like they hate gay people and trans people. So I envision it like every dollar I give to Chick Fil A goes towards somebody somewhere hating gay people or hating trans people.
Hmm.
So I would much rather that I like Chick Fil A. Their food is great, but I'm not gonna pay them to hate gay people and trans people. Just like I don't pay, like I hate microtransactions. EA pretty much built their most modern version of their company off microtransactions and just exploiting the way that people spend money in tiny amounts many times. I hate that. So I stopped buying EA games. I stopped giving them my money. So I know EA's never gonna go out of business probably. I like the Assassin's Creed games. I wanted to play not Titanfall, but Destiny.
Hmm.
But the fact that I'm not giving my money to EA to continue these shitty practices.
And that's a personal. It makes you feel good, you know. It's a personal thing. But like I don't know. Like it's a tricky issue. And the example with human trafficking, everybody in the chat is saying they don't agree with you, and I don't think
Well,
it's.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It
No,
was
yeah.
a really extreme
I don't think it made
Destiny
sense at
and
all though. Like the Chick-fil-A example made sense, but the human trafficking, like, who supports human trafficking? Like, what? I don't know.
Ubisoft. Tomatoes.
But that's a completely different issue. But going back to Chick-fil-A and Nintendo, I think those two examples are similar. So on a personal note, like, I could see your point of view and I respect it, and I agree with you, and I wish I could be that strong in a sense. But honestly, like I told you, like I don't feel like I'm making a difference in the company money finances. So I'm just gonna buy the next Chick-fil-A meal, the next game, because it doesn't hurt them. But that's my decision slash choice. Bro, yeah, Choopy. It's because Slaine started talking about human trafficking.
But like I said,
He compared
it
it to
was a very
Nintendo.
it was a very extreme example for me to kind of get
You
my
want to
point
clear that
across. I
up?
feel like
You want to clear that up?
I may have missed. No, I'm not clearing up shit. Take it out of context. Watch the VOD. But
Now they're gonna clip it.
no,
They're gonna clip it.
it was a very extreme example for me to get my point across, and I feel like I missed the mark, especially getting EA and Ubisoft confused. But my point that I'm trying to make is I think it's a lot better to just not support a company and not have the impact that you wish you had versus to reluctantly support a company and now they still have that one more dollar, that $60 more to continue doing the things that they're doing.
Hey Stevie, this is for
Like
you.
Evo, right? Let's talk about this one. Like Evo, um I'm not sure if y'all are familiar what happened with Mr. Wiz, who was pretty
Oh
much
yeah,
like the guy who runs Evo.
yeah.
But some shit happened with Mr. Wiz, and they pretty much said Evo is still happening. Everybody dropped out of Evo, so guess what's not happening? Evo. So because everyone chose to not support Evo, they ended up being hurt enough to where it made a difference. But on the other hand, like what if the people said, oh well, this dude is trash, but I still want to go to Evo. I've already paid my money to go to Evo. I've already got my plane ticket to and my hotel room to go to Vegas. I'm still gonna go to Evo. I'm just not gonna, I'm not gonna talk to Mr. Wiz. I'm not gonna work with Mr. Wiz. If you're still giving him your money and supporting his practices, so I think Evo is an example of what could happen if more people
I see.
thought the way I do. It's a more positive example of my way of thinking. But again, like, it was a personal choice. Like Justin Wong, IFC Yipes, Sherry Jennings, like they all chose to not go to Evo, and then consequently, those people's collective choices hurt the company enough to where it mattered. Versus if they would have chose, it's I don't think it's gonna have the effect I want it to have, so I'm gonna go anyway. Especially because I've already spent the money on it. Well, now you're just continuing to support the things that what I'm saying, you don't particularly agree with on the backside of it.
Yeah, and I hope that was the issue with Nintendo. Like I agree with you, but it's not. So
Evo is different from Nintendo, but they're not. It's just Nintendo is so much bigger than Evo. That's the only difference.
and
I'm not saying
also
Nintendo is out here, diddling kids, but I'm saying they're doing things that I don't agree with as a business. I do not agree with Nintendo's business model and business ethics, so I'm not supporting their business. That's what I'm trying to get a point about Nintendo. That's what I'm trying to get across about Nintendo is I don't agree with the way they're running their business, so I won't support it.
all right, and then that's great. No,
Mhm.
like I agree with it, and you should be entitled to do that, and that's cool. If there's no other questions or input about this, let's move on to the next one. This one, I feel like it ties in with what we're talking about a little bit, but
Yeah, Kyle, I'm gonna hit you up about it later because I know. I said I was around when they just flat out removed AM2R off the face of the internet the day before it launched. Like I was there for that. Like I know very like Nintendo is the reason EMU Paradise and a bunch of emulator sites just flat out got nuked. Like, I was there for that. All right, but we're gonna keep this. We're gonna keep this John
Actually,
rolling.
yeah.
We gotta.
One more thing. So Lightbite did bring up a good point. It is where actually this ties in with Walmart, with Nike, with the with the camps they have in other countries, child labor and all that.
Hmm.
And we're still like people still support them, and they don't like it's too big of a company to hurt. And it's the same thing with Nintendo. Honestly, that's what I think. And if you don't want to buy Nikes or if you don't want to support Nintendo, that's a personal decision, and I agree with you. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. So number two. All right, so this one I made up because honestly, I've been really annoyed with the Smash community as of late, especially during this Wi-Fi slash pandemic era. So let's take a look
Hmm.
at the first tweet. Oops, let
Okay,
me
wait,
open
where
the.
we at? So annoyances. Okay, we on Zap. Oh yeah, Mister 10K.
Oh yeah, so basically, so what happened here? Let me summarize it. Or so basically, what happened is the I'm gonna okay, Slaine, let me talk first because you know what you're.
Go go
I know what
ahead,
you're
go
gonna
ahead,
say.
go ahead.
Okay, so basically, I saw this on Twitter. A lot of people saw this on Twitter. So what happened is this guy made a tweet that said he tagged this guy, friends of Maru or whatever. He scammed me out of $10,000. Okay, that's a very, you know, bold
10 bands is a
allegation.
lot of money,
Yeah, ten
so I
thousand
was
dollars is a lot. Maybe I thought that maybe this guy like hacked my account. He stole all my stocks. He brought
finessed the PayPal.
finessed the PayPal or something. Okay, but let's see. Let's keep reading. So he hosted a tournament in quotation marks at the end of August in which you had to win 10 games in a row. Blah blah blah. Get into grand finals, best of five versus him and any other member. Blah blah blah. And the winner gets $10,000. So he just keeps going and going and going about what happened during the tournament. Long story short, this guy basically he won the whole thing. He beat every single person, and then he's like, "Where's my 10K?" And then the TO said, didn't respond. I think he just left them on red. And then that's when this guy made this tweet. And then I was like, "Okay, how stupid can you be to believe that a random guy is just gonna host a 10K tournament?" And then I look at his bio and look, this dude is 13 years old, dude. What is Twitter doing? Like, why are people paying attention to these kids? Like, honestly, like, what's going on with the Smash community right now? So stupid. You got any thoughts, Slaine?
All right, so I feel like you explained the story kind of it was really general and you missed a lot of details. So what ended up happening was this man played in a tournament, right? He won 10 games in a row, and a stipulation for this tournament was after you win those 10 games in a row, now you got to fight, the final boss who was the guy he tagged. And after you beat the final boss in a best of 5 set, then you win the 10K. So there were two tournaments actually. The first tournament, he got to finals and he lost to the final boss. So, he went into the hyperbolic time chamber. He trained for a little bit and he came back to the second tournament to where he got the 10 wins in a row. And when he got to the final boss, you know, instead of Bowser, it was Bowser Jr. and all of his kids.
It was friends of Maru.
And
This guy.
yeah, he was like, oh well, instead of playing me, you gonna play this dude over here. And that match never happened. So technically, he never won like the tournament. So what ended up happening was the guy who ran the tournament, he pushed it back a few months, and this Zap guy agreed. You know what? I can wait a few months. It'll just give me more time to practice, and then possibly win this best of five. Well, when the time came for the set, it got pushed back again, and then at this point, the dude was like,
The
this.
kid. The kid.
I'm yeah, the kid. He's like, I might be getting finessed here, bro. What the fuck? So he goes into Morrow's Discord or Twitter or whatever. He's communicating with him, and Morrow's brushing him off. He's telling him shut the fuck up. He's calling him slurs and talking shit about him on various alt Twitters. And in the end, this 13-year-old kid, he never ends up playing Morrow's friend. Therefore, he never beats him. Therefore, he never earns the $10,000 rightfully. Well, here we go, current, and this Morrow guy is trying to host another tournament, and Zap is like, I'm still in the boss battle from last tournament. What happened to that? He was like, yeah, that don't count no more. We started a new tournament, on to new things. And the guy's like, man, he scammed me out of 10K. In my opinion, bro,
Yeah, well, tell
as a
me. Tell me.
as a 13-year-old kid playing in a tournament for 10K, I understand his pain. Like that's like this man, he won 10 online games in a row. However, he did it, got to the final boss, and he was never given his challenge right. Like the guy just never showed up for months. And now to find out there's a third tournament on the way, and you've never been given your
Bro,
original championship fight, like he got hold.
what do you
Like
mean?
he straight
He
up,
didn't expect
like he
this?
straight up got hold.
He didn't expect this from a random guy with what's his avatar? He has a cat as a profile picture, and he says he's hosting a 10K tournament. Bruh, how do you know what? How do you not expect this?
Look, all right. There's a lot of online personalities that do things like this. Like I said the example I brought up earlier was Mr. Beast. Everybody knows who Mr. Beast is. This man just gives away money like his life depends on it.
Yeah,
And he's Mr. Beast is an extreme example, but
another extreme example.
there there are plenty of online personalities who do things like this. Where they're just giving away lots of money to generate entertainment and views and things like that. So I don't blame this 13-year-old kid for getting finessed out of 10K. But at the same time, fam, like you played this tournament in one day probably, and then he hit you with the, oh, you know what? I kind of spent all my money on Pokemon's OnlyFans, so just give me a few, give me a few months, and I got you. And then a few months go by, and he like, hey, look, man, I spent all this money on Nico Law's OnlyFans, so we just gonna forget that ever happened. Like, as much as I say he got to hold that, he got to hold that.
I mean, he didn't
That's
lose any money, honestly.
yeah, that's a brother. He said, bro, like this is something that you learn from. All right, this is the experience of what it's like to be an adult, especially in America, to where you think you have an opportunity and you think you got something that you've earned, and then it's just suddenly stripped away from you for no rhyme, regard, and out of your control. This is an important lesson in this 13-year-old guy's life. All right, like
I just think he's
he,
dumb. Honestly, that's all. That's my two
I don't know. I
cents.
don't think he's dumb. He's not dumb. He just, like I said, he was finessed.
This is
He
why.
wasn't given what he earned, and that's just
Okay,
that's just life.
but do you agree that 13-year-olds should be on Twitter like this? Like should they be on Twitter?
I was 13 on Twitter. Well,
Wait,
I
what?
was
No, you
13.
weren't.
I was wait 13 years old. I was in what, ninth grade.
Yeah,
So
Twitter
I
didn't.
wasn't on.
Twitter barely
Yes, I
existed.
wasn't on Twitter. I wasn't on Twitter, but I was on MySpace and Facebook.
Oh
So
yeah.
I don't disagree with teenagers having social media presence, and with Twitter being, the big thing right now. It's just kind of where they go. Even like TikTok, you see a bunch of 15-year-old TikTok girls showing anime titties, and it's not that I agree with it, but I can't disagree with it because it's the same thing as me being an edgy 14-year-old on MySpace quoting "Bullet for My Valentine."
It's not
You
the
know,
same thing at all. I don't think it's the same thing. No, but that's a whole different issue. You want to move on
I'm
to the?
not saying 13-year-olds shouldn't be on Twitter. I'm saying I don't follow any 13-year-olds on Twitter. That's my take on
All right, all right. As you shouldn't. So good job on that. Oh, we got Slaine
it. Yeah.
with a doobie right now.
This is a cigar. Stop it. I'm still active duty. But no, I said I don't think Zap was wrong in this regard. I think, like I said, he got finessed, and this is just something you learn from as a person. This is something you grow from. He will probably never. He's gonna continue playing online. He's gonna continue playing in tournaments. He will never let somebody wait, like tell him to wait to pay him ever again in his life.
All right, so let's
Like I
move
said,
on to. Oh, you wanna talk?
Nah, go ahead,
Are
go
you
ahead.
ready? Okay. So
Yeah.
the next one, is about the Ryoga chord. So this, I wrote this, I put this one down because it's been annoying me these past few weeks. So the Ryoga chord is basically a Discord where people have tournaments, they have tryouts, they have all the top level players are the judges, whether somebody gets in the Discord or not. And supposedly what happens there is they just play Smash and they train, they grind. So they grind really hard Smash online. And what's turned into, the idea itself is not bad, honestly. I don't think it's bad to, if you want to try hard and Smash, whatever, train, cool. But it's turned into this high school jock drama thing that it's been annoying me. Because a lot of people have been posting on Twitter, oh, this guy got into the Ryu record and I didn't. It's not fair. Look at my wins. And then their wins are against Luigi Main 69 or something. It's, dude, it's so dumb. It makes people, and then when the people get in, they post it all over Twitter. They feel like they're all that, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm the top dog of this community. I own Twitter, Smash, and all that." It makes people so entitled, and it's getting super annoying. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Man, let me tell you something. I'll be minding my own business so deep, bro. I knew a top player Discord existed. I didn't know the name of it. I didn't know they had tryouts to get into it. I didn't know they had judges. I didn't know there was drama in that Discord. I do not care about what happens like within that Discord.
No,
But
nobody
I will
does.
say this. Um I definitely think this is a situation of something being designed and then being used later down the line for something that it wasn't intended for originally. Because so I've been in the Smash community since the PM days when PM was popping, and I don't think Discord was big back then. And top players would complain about not having the high level practice that they wish they had, because their way of communication was pretty much just you would DM somebody and say, "Hey, you want to play?" No, or DM somebody else, "Hey, you want to play?" And Discord makes that easier because now they can just excuse me, now they can just send out pings. I'm sure they have like tiers and roles within the Discord where they can ping, PGR top 50 who wants to play, or everybody who wants to play, or mid/low level but still in this Discord who wants to play. Like, I'm sure that whatever was intended with this Discord is definitely not how it's used now. And the fact that people are using it for clout
Yeah,
just reduces my faith in anything this Discord has to offer.
bro.
Because I'll be damned if I like this. Like, I imagine that being akin to like walking in a local and being like, "Hey, bro, I'm friends with Fallen. Like, yeah,
And there's
I get to
people who
play
do
with
that,
Charger all the time. Like,
bro.
yeah, I get to I get to play with MK Leo every day. What you got? Like, come on, son. Who cares?
So when I was 13, I was part of a clan. I eventually became the leader of that clan, and yeah, I was 13. I felt like really cool. I'm the leader of this Smash community. Like I could beat other crews. I was the best crew in the website. Blah blah blah. But we have 20, 30-year-old men on this Discord, and then on Twitter just saying, "Yeah, I'm part of the Ryuga Accord. You're not part of it. You're not as cool as me." And that's kind of cringe. That's what's annoying right
That's
now.
that is so trash. Like, come on, son. Like, there are certain things that you wanna be, known for, and then there are just certain things that you don't. And I think this is one of those things to where people are blowing it up like, hey, yeah, I beat Luigi Main 69. It's like, fam, we do not care.
Yeah, who cares who like I don't know. It's annoying. That's why I call it like they're trying to be jocks in high school. It's those popular kids in high school, and it's annoying. But yeah, shout outs to Neoseeker. That's where I had my first clan, and those were my clan names right there. So let's see. I think Hida was in my clan too back in the day.
Hey, the homie.
So the next tweet that we're gonna talk about is, oh bro, this is gonna make a lot of people mad. The
Goblin.
Goblin tweet.
Yeah,
Okay, you want to start?
I love talking shit about
All
Goblin,
right,
bro.
go
Because
go go.
this man has been on my. I don't follow him on Twitter, but he's been on my radar since Smash 4 days, like the late Smash 4 days when I found him. And pretty much this dude is such a gem because all of his notable, things about him have come from online. Like offline, his region
He's
kind of
all
views
right.
him as
I
like
mean, whatever.
he's a secret boss. He just can't travel, or he doesn't get to go to the big name tournaments. We don't care, all right. But he gets online and he's like, "Oh yeah, I beat MK Leo in the 2 out of 3 online, or I played Tweak and they went to last stock online." Like, bro, like,
I hate those
so
people.
now he has a tweet. Now he has a tweet. Did you bring it up yet? Okay, yeah, he has
Yeah.
a tweet talking about. Let's see. I don't want to sound cringe. Blah blah blah. If you ban people, you just want to have you just want to feel power, and we're 9 months into COVID, and people like, bro, look, if you want to go to a local right now, just crawl in a hole and just roll over, just die. All right. The world is so shitty right now. Locals should not be on the table at all. There is nothing about what's happening right now that someone should wake up and say, you know what? I want to go to a local. I ain't seen my friends in a while. I haven't gotten to press buttons on a high definition monitor, and like, bro, no, shut up. You're not essential. And then
Bro,
he goes on to say
yeah.
about how he used to depend on the money that he won from locals to live. And then he goes on to say, "Oh, people are going to MAGA rallies, so why can't I go to locals?"
And you know
Like,
what got me? Look at the second tweet in this chain. So that he says, "I'll say most of my income. This applies to a lot of other people. Came from locals. That was my necessity, my essential." Like, bro, this sounds so cringe. Get a job if
and then
you're,
yeah, I think
bro.
he's still in school.
No,
I don't think
he's
Goblin's
20.
18.
He's like 20.
He's 20. Okay, well, he's talking about his school days. It's like, bruh, if you let me tell you, you cannot live on Smash. I hate to break it to you.
Yeah.
Nairo, MK Leo, Zero in his
Wait, what?
prime
What? Who'd you say? Who'd
could
you say?
not live.
What was the first name you said?
Leo, Nairo,
No,
and
wait.
hey, look, Nairo,
Who's that? Who's that? We
look,
don't. We...
Nairo may or may not be innocent, so we can look. Hey, not look. A lot of shit happened, but from what I saw most recently, he may or may not be innocent.
No, yeah, I saw.
So
I
look,
saw that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I said Nairo, Leo, and then I even said Zero. Zero in his prime, winning 50 tournaments in a row, could not live off of Smash alone. Okay,
It's impossible.
like off locals and tournaments alone. You, it's just not sustainable money, bro. People got bills. Bills are really due every month, man. You cannot live your life based on, oh, I'm gonna go to 3 locals this week. I'm gonna get first, second, or third. That's gonna be like $500 to $90, anywhere in that range, and you can't live off of that.
And then what the
So
worst part is that this guy's saying I. Oh, sorry. Let's. I'll get to that in a bit. The worst part is in this tweet he's saying locals are my necessity, and he tries to get people to go to locals during a pandemic. You're risking people's lives just to get $30 if you get first place. If you get first place,
this man said locals are a necessity.
necessity.
Bro, it's not. We're we're 9 months into the pandemic and the lockdown. We've proven that it's not a necessity. You don't have to go to locals. Going to locals isn't a right. Playing Smash competitively isn't a right. It's a privilege.
Yeah.
And just because privileges are being revoked, now you want to roll on the floor and cry like a baby because you can't win $30 for first place 3 times a week, or however many locals you choose to go to.
He's actually mad at people not going because he wants to make more money. He's not mad at him not being able to go. He's gonna go regardless. He's mad at more people not coming so he can get more money.
Yeah, he's mad at people not going, and then he's also mad that tos are saying, look, like, if you go to a local, don't come to my tournament when I started back up eventually, because these tos they've shut down their own tournaments because of the pandemic, and they have it's their shit. They have their own rules. So if they say, if you go to another local during this pandemic time, if and when we open up our local, you're just banned. You can't show up. And the reason they're doing that is because of people's safety, like literally people's safety, health, and lives. And you're gonna go on Twitter talking about, oh, it's a necessity. I deserve to see my friends and to push these buttons and win $50 an hour, like $50 for first place after spending 3 hours in bracket around like 30 people. And if one of them gets sick, then we all can get sick. Because you know they're not wearing masks.
Yeah.
You know they're not wearing gloves. You know they're all sitting this close to each other, breathing and not using deodorant or taking showers and using sanitizer or nothing. They're
Yeah.
all just focused on their Smash game. Like, man, get the fuck out of here,
Hey, we
dog.
should
Like,
hit him up
this is
for
wild.
$30 coaching sessions. $30
I will
coaching sessions.
I will I will never pay this man $30 to tell me to shield grab and jab back here. He plays Roy. All right. I will never pay for this dude to sit down with me and to tell me, hey, look, you gotta play patient, okay? Just wait for him to make a mistake. Just sit in your shield, grab him if he gets too
It's
close, if he
general
cross you
advice.
up.
Everybody says
That's
that.
like it's so fucking stupid, bro. There's
Especially online coaching. I don't think like okay, but $30 and this guy is not even like top 5 or top 10. Like, bruh. All right. Moving on to the next one. So I guess this ties in with
oh my
everything.
god,
People
this fucking
taking
kid.
online, people thinking that online matters so much. It's so annoying when people, yeah, like you said, oh yeah, I took MK Leo to last stock. I took a stock off Tweak. Okay, that's like, bro, it's so cringe, especially if it's online. That makes zero sense to me. Why would people post that? It's so annoying.
Bro, online, I would say in black and white, it does not count. Any win online, it just flat out it doesn't count. The atmosphere for playing online is so much different because it's a different game on a technical level. And this is me talking from across multiple games, like from like playing Marvel online versus playing Marvel on land, totally different games. Playing Melee online versus in land, totally different game. Smash Ultimate online is a totally different game. Splatoon online, I imagine, it's a totally different game. Like, bro, like it's a totally different game. And then the atmosphere, like you have people playing online at home in their DX racers, they're reclined and kicked back. No one's taking this like just super seriously, bro. You don't have the same level of focus, the same level of drive, the same level of execution online as you do at a local tournament. So for people to brag about online wins and especially compare those wins to in-person brackets, like get the fuck out of here. It's it's not the same. It's nowhere near the same, bro. Like you have different tier lists for online versus in person. Like Ganon is arguably like a bottom 3 character in like across the board versus melee. Like
Heda says,
it's
you saw that?
go ahead.
Online don't count, but DQs do.
Facts. Yes. Look, all right. Look, if I show up to my match in person and you don't, that's a dub. All right. I'll beat you. I played the stronger mental game. All right.
They
I
got
was on
scared.
time.
They got scared.
I had my controller. I was where I needed to be. That's a dub.
Put it on your
That's
resume.
a dub.
The next
But
question is,
nah, so
uh,
online don't count,
yeah,
bro.
it doesn't at
Anybody who
all.
thinks online counts, just just sit down. Sit down and be humble.
How is Splatoon online different than offline? Honestly, I don't know anything about Splatoon. Do you know,
I
Slaine?
I don't know. I do not know. I don't even know if Splatoon has an like a LAN
Yeah,
capability.
I don't know.
I don't follow that game.
Me neither. But
It's just
it's I heard the online is way better than Smash, so that's something. Going for Splatoon.
that whole is bad. I beat you online. I beat you. I mean, yeah. Look, if you beat me online, yeah, you beat me. You get that dub, but you don't get to compare that to also beating me offline. Like if I'm in like what's not for glory, but if I'm in Elite Smash, right, and I run into Spargo, if I beat Spargo on for glory, that's a dub. Yeah, I beat Spargo, but I'm not gonna go on Twitter and be like, oh yeah, bro, I beat Spargo. I'm better than Spargo. Hey, what happened? Oh yeah, I beat him online. No, Spargo would wax my brakes
Yeah,
in on like in offline.
yeah, it's a big difference. All right, so if you guys are done talking about Smash, let's move on to real life subjects. If you guys have anything else to say about Smash or anything, let us know in the chat. We're gonna try to answer it. But let's move on. So, Slaine, I think you came up with this one. You wanna start it off?
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Let me
Yeah.
scroll down. So the next one is men
So
aren't allowed to have preferences. So what do you mean by that?
yeah. So now we're gonna transition like out of my Smash mentality and persona into a more me topic. This isn't me. Like this isn't me talking as Slaine anymore. Now this is me talking as Torian, and I don't go by the name in real life, but it's who I am regardless. So now we're gonna get into these topics, talking, and I'm gonna be talking from Torian's perspective. So this topic kind of stems from um, me talking to various people, specifically women, both on Twitter and in person. Like, well, online and in person. Looking for a switch to get my cousin? No, sir. Um, but yeah, so this is me talking as a person from experience that I've experienced with women because I'm a cis hetero male, and um, a lot of a big thing that I see is that whenever a man has like a preference, something that they expect out of a woman or expect out of their relationship. If you have anything that like specific that you want, it's always rooted in some negative connotation. Like, oh, I want to date a girl younger than me. Oh, that's rooted in those beliefs are rooted in pedophilia. Or I don't want to date a woman who weighs more than me. Oh, well, now you're fat phobic. Or I want to date a woman who was born a woman. Oh, now you're transphobic. It's like, no, like these are the preferences I've built for myself. Well, not these specifically, but like I said, in general, like whenever a man wants things or expects certain things, like I want a woman that can cook. Oh, you now it's the patriarchy. It's like whenever a man wants something from their partner or expects a certain quality out of their partner, it's always rooted in some negative connotation. Like it's like, damn, like can I not have preferences? Can I not have expectancies based on my experiences? Can I not just flat out just want something out of my partner that I don't have in myself?
I see. So why did you say men only here? You don't think it happens to
Because
women?
no, because when women say, "Oh, I want to do who makes more money than me," it's like, yes, sis, get you a provider. When a woman says they want a man who is physically stronger than they are, it's like, oh yeah, that's expected of a man. He got to be stronger. He got to be a protector. He got to, he got to make you feel secure. Or when women say they expect a man to have a certain level of maturity or just a certain level of mental health. And if he doesn't have that level of mental health, then he should seek therapy because women don't want to be, the mental burden for men anymore. All of these things for women, they're just preferences. Like if that's what she wants, then that's what she wants. And if you can't be that, step, hop out of her DM so somebody else can slide in. But like I said, when a man expects literally the same things out of a woman or out of their partner, it's always rooted in a negative connotation from what I've seen and from what I've experienced.
Actually, yeah. On Twitter, it happens a lot. Twitter's super toxic. But so let me clarify one thing. So I'm a Nunu. So you said if I have a preference to be better, that's toxic. So that's what Slaine is talking about. When you prefer something, people categorize you as toxic. So I think Slaine agrees with you in that regard right there. And
Yes.
and we're saying it's not fair. Slaine is saying it's not fair for men. Um, as a man myself also, I've seen that as well, and I agree with Slaine. Like if you say I don't like my girl to be taller than me, then it's like, oh, why you hate on tall girls and stuff like that. It's just preference, and it shouldn't be categorized as toxic, but it happens. Um,
Trash women. Chill.
the woman you're trying to be with are just trash.
Well, it's not even that the women I'm trying to be with are trash. It's just like it's like because it's a culmination of various women and their collective thoughts, so to say. Like I said, how do you follow me on Twitter? I retweet a lot of dumb shit that women be saying, right? And a lot of like dumb like videos and interviews that women do. And like I said a vast majority of women expect a man, to make more money than them, to be taller than them, to have a certain level of sexual pleasure that they give them, or to be gifted in certain areas, to have certain skill sets and have certain drive in life. I can go all day with this. Like women expect so many things of men to have you even qualify to be a man, and none of those things are seen as negative or in negative connotations. This is just her preference. If she wants a man to make more money than her, that's her choice. If she wants a skinny man, that's her choice. If she wants a bigger man, that's her choice. If she doesn't date black men because of certain reasons, that's her choice. I'm misinterpreting. No, these are the words of women.
No, not you.
I said
He's talking
whenever.
to I mean Nunu.
Oh, okay, yeah, my fault, my fault, my fault. Yeah, these are all the words of women, and like I said, everything that a woman wants and expects is just her preference. Now, when I go on Twitter as a man, or when any man goes on Twitter, and if I say, "Oh, I want a woman," but she can't weigh X amount of, she can't weigh X amount, or she can't be taller than me. She got to wear heels 3 times a week. She got to have her own, career or her own drive. I want a woman to take care of the house and the kids, or I want to have a woman who wants to have more than 2 kids. I want to have a woman who was born a woman. Like I can have whatever criteria for a woman that I expect to date,
Yeah.
and
And you're
women
not
will take.
uh and you're not being transphobic when you say that, because if you want a woman who was born a woman, it's your preference, and you're not being transphobic, I
Yeah,
believe. Yeah.
yeah. I'm not being transphobic. I'm not being fat phobic. I'm not shaming people who live a certain lifestyle. I'm not shaming people who weren't allowed to live a certain lifestyle.
Oh no, I
I'm
mean,
just
okay,
stating.
yeah. Sorry,
Yes,
finish.
I'm just stating the things that I expect from my partner. Because if I'm dating with the idea that I want to spend my life with this person, I want I want to do that with whatever I want, or with whomever I want. But whenever a man voices those preferences, it always comes back with with hate and with negativity. Because for me as a man to have things that I expect, it all stems from some form of the patriarchy, and I think that's complete and total bullshit.
And I'm trying to. So I mean, Nunu said, if it's a one-sided road, it won't work, and that's true. So let's say Slaine wants, for example, a woman who can cook. Let's say, and then there's a woman who knows how to cook, and she tells Slaine, she posts on Twitter, or she tells everybody, I want a man who is over 6 foot. Slaine doesn't qualify. Or do you? You're
Wait
not.
a minute, wait a goddamn minute.
Wait,
I'm
are you?
5'11".
Yeah, so you're not. You don't qualify. So then, that's a two-way road. Slaine can't have that girl, and that girl doesn't want Slaine, so it's not gonna happen. Slaine is not gonna force it because she has her own preferences. Does that make sense? Right, Slaine? You're not gonna force it.
No, fuck no. But like, so look, I'm gonna take this example because this happened on Twitter. I'm pretty sure I retweeted it. So there was a woman, right, and she was like, she shared a video of a dude repurposing a bedroom into a studio by himself. So he redid the flooring, he redid the walls, he pretty much just did a bunch of handiwork. And the woman was pretty much saying that whoever she ends up dating or married to has to be able to work with his hands to that caliber. And all of her feedback was positive, like, yeah, make that nigga, rebuild you a house, make
Yeah.
that nigga, do X and Y, and he got to be good with his hands. And me being a smart ass, I didn't even say anything wrong. I was just like, but if I ask you to make me a sandwich after I build all of this shit, all of a
Ooh.
sudden I'm a misogynist. And I got blasted for that shit. And it was just like, yo, like you expect a man to literally build you your dream home, but he can't ask you for a sandwich? Like that shit was crazy.
Yeah, what do you guys think in the chat? There's a lot of thoughts going around. Blitz said judgment is something that's sadly frowned upon, and it makes me sad. And that, yeah, honestly,
Yeah,
it's
it's frowned upon. It's trash, but it's fucked up because I feel like only when it comes to relationship judging, only men are judged. Because whenever a woman judges, it's just her preference. That's just what she expects, and she's allowed to have that because she's a person. But when a man has expectancies, all was it all. Here come the judgment. Here come the hate comments. Every single thing that he wants and expects out of a woman comes from some form of patriarchy, which may or may not be true, but nonetheless, those are my preferences. If I say I want a homebody woman to just stay at home and have my kids and raise my kids, that's not me being a misogynist. That's just what I want. And if you can't be that, I can go on to the next woman.
Yeah,
That's
somebody who
yeah.
is gonna be that. So I mean, Nunu. And I agree with you. I think these should be set ground. These should be ground rules set like at the beginning of a relationship, or even before the relationship, right? What do you think, Slaine?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, because you can't just be with somebody forever and then at the end, like a year later, say, "Oh, I want you to be this." No, you can't do that. This needs to be set. This is the foundation of the relationship, I think.
Yeah, that should definitely be something that's discussed early into the relationship. And it's kind of a reason that I myself I've had trouble dating because I'll talk to a girl and we'll get through we'll get into that initial stage of talking, and then I start laying down my expectancies and my preferences, and now all of a sudden I'm the bad guy. When it's like we're not even dating yet. I'm just talking to you. Like, I want to know your name. Like, I want to know like what you look like and what do you like to do for fun. I want to know, like I said, what are your plans for the future. And if I'm getting answers that I can't envision myself being with, it doesn't make me a bad dude for being like, you know what, no, we're not compatible. Like, it's not gonna work between us because you don't want to have kids. It's not gonna work between us because you're not, saying the beauty standard that I expect out of my wife or something like that.
So let's say that happens. Let's say Slaine is out on a first date. He says, "Okay, I want you. I'm looking for a girl who's like this, blah blah blah." He talks all this, and Slaine cannot envision that girl to be that one, to be that person he envisions. So then what happens after? Slaine, as he should, I think Slaine is very good at being direct. He tells the girl, "All right, later," and it's over.
I'm out.
You know what girls do then? They post on Twitter, they post on Facebook, they make these accusations that, "Oh, Slaine, men are trash. They treat you so bad and all that," and that's what goes viral, honestly, and it's kind of sad. Richie said anyone can have preferences, but some people expect the other person to be perfect. And yeah, perfection is never something anyone
Yeah,
should be looking for.
I'm not saying you got to be perfect. I said I just because I have preferences doesn't mean you have to meet all of them. I am. I know like nobody's perfect. I'm never gonna find the exact build a bear woman that I expect. So I said when it comes to specific cases, I said yeah, like nobody's perfect, but I do have certain things that I expect out of my woman that she should either possess those qualities or be open into
Exactly.
meeting me somewhere in the middle.
That's what
You
Ame
know,
Nunu just said, that they should be open to compromising. And yeah, that makes
yeah.
sense.
She in Memphis. Hey, I might be going back.
What?
I'm well, not permanently. Not fuck that. I ain't never moving back. But I might be visiting because my cousin. I want to go see my cousins. I might be going to see my cousins, and I'm gonna try to bring me a wife back because these San Diego women ain't working out.
You want to go on to the next one?
Real quick, I'm gonna
Yeah,
give
yeah.
an example
All
because
right.
I went on a date. This was it was like super early this year before the pandemic. It was like January, February. So I went on a date right with this girl. I met this girl online and we talked for maybe like 1 or 2 days, and I invited her on a date. I don't like just texting a person and like talking to them through text. But at the same time, I don't like phone calls. I'm so trash at phone calls because everything I need to say, I can say in 3 sentences or less. So phone
Yeah.
calls don't really work out for me. So we talked for like 2 or 3 days. I invited her on a date, and we went and got breakfast. While we're talking over our meal, it was quickly like it was quickly like just announced to me that yeah, this ain't gonna work. So I told her that I was like, look, like I'm having fun. I'm enjoying the food. I don't think we're gonna work out. I didn't say it exactly like that, but that's pretty much the gist of what I said. And then after I said that, I let her know that I expected her to pay for her own food, like straight up.
Okay.
I was like, look, I said this ain't gonna work out between us. I don't see us dating, and I'm enjoying this food. You're gonna have to get yourself. Like I'm not paying your way through this date because I there's no future in this. So I'm not I'm not interested in you enough that I'm willing to to pay for your food. And then after this date, you know what I'm saying, she blocked me on all of her social medias, or so she thought, because she still was on my Twitter feed. And she went on Twitter. She didn't at me because she was a bit. Well, she didn't at me, but she was like, "Oh yeah, men are trash, niggas ain't shit. He didn't want to pay for my first date. I don't know why I wasted my time. Just blase blase." And I'm just like, "Damn, wasted your time. Like, just because we weren't compatible, like just because I told you up front that I didn't want to waste your time because I knew for a fact we weren't gonna work out because you didn't meet my standards. But now all of a sudden it's my fault. Now all of a sudden I'm trash because I didn't pay for your breakfast. Like, how does that work?
Dang. Yeah, that I've never heard of that one, but that must have been a little bit awkward, but I'm glad you're so direct. I don't know if I'd be able to do that. um
Man, look, if it ain't gonna work, it ain't gonna work, and I'm not giving nobody time or money if I know it ain't getting me nothing.
exactly. And it's not just you wasting her time, she wasted yours.
And
It goes both
it's
ways.
just my preference. Yeah,
Mhm.
facts. It's just my preference.
Mhm. Blitz said today's generation is comprised of looks and that's not okay. Yeah, that's kind of sad, especially with social media and all that. It's teaching these kids, these young adults, that all they need to look for is money and looks, and it's not gonna give you good results if you just go for that.
I'm gonna say this. This generation is yes, their looks and attractiveness is a very big part of their dating. But within the black community, you know, us color folk, we've been saying for a very long time that being pretty ain't enough. Right? If she boring, he gonna cheat or he gonna leave. We've been saying this since like I was a baby and I was hearing this. Like this is stuff my moms and aunties said, and it shows. Like look at celebrities. Like, I don't know if y'all know who Lil Baby is,
Yeah,
but pretty much he was pretty much like the greatest rapper of this year. He won multiple awards, had multiple albums go platinum and multi platinum, and he just cheated on his girl like 2 days ago, and his girl is fine. And everybody all over Twitter talking about, oh, he ain't shit or blah 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 blah. He cheated on her, and don't get me wrong, he is trash for cheating. But like people were, they were blaming his girl. They're like, how can you cheat on her when she looked like this? And you know, black folks, we've been saying for a long time, we like, hey, look, like looks ain't enough. If she boring, she boring. Like if she can't, if she don't make me want to come home, I'm not gonna come home. If she don't pique my interest and motivate me to be better and to do better, I'm not going to.
yeah.
So like
Just look at
when
Cardi
people
B
with
and
these days
Offset.
are yeah, like facts. Like when people these days are dating and it's strictly off appearance, it's it might work. Y'all might get married, but at the same time, it's like if you aren't like you're the person I got to spend my life with. If you aren't interesting to me, like as a person, I'm gonna do something else. This applies to people. This applies to cars. Like if the car don't drive the way I want it to drive, I'm gonna get another car. If I have a hobby, if I play Smash, if I play Fox and Fox ain't fun, I'm gonna stop playing Fox. Like
Yeah, Irvin said
I
still trash for cheating, and that's true. But what we're talking about
yeah,
here
100%.
is the fact that the woman, let's say for example, she was boring. So then, what is it? The baby or Lil Baby?
Yeah, it's little baby, yeah.
So Lil Baby, he got bored of her. Let's say, so he cheated on her. The issue with that is that is that whether he would have broken up or cheated with her, people were gonna say the same thing. People would have been like, "Wow, you left this hot girl. I can't believe you just did that." Whether he cheated or not, if he would have left her, they would have said the same thing, and that's kind of sad because looks aren't everything.
Yeah, looks are definitely not everything. I say if I don't enjoy you the same way I don't enjoy like anything. Like if I don't enjoy something, I'm not gonna do it. So if I don't enjoy you as a person, I'm gonna not be with you as a person.
Hmm.
But a lot of people this generation seem to think that, you know, relationships built off appearances and looks alone is enough when it's just not.
No. All right. So what about this
And
one, number four?
yeah, yeah, that segues greatly into our next topic: living in reality versus living life. This is where I get kind of deep, all right, because the way I live my life and the way, like, the reason I think certain ways that I think is based around this topic. And even before we get into the tweet,
There it is. I put it up.
um, I feel like people have a certain way of going about life to where they think um, people think that because things should be a certain way, they expect them to be that way and they live their life accordingly to that, as opposed to living their life to match what reality has to offer. And I feel like I need to give an example of what that means because I explained it terribly. So, me as a black man living in America, my biggest fear in life is to go outside, see the police, and die. That's my biggest fear in life. Is I'm just gonna just go outside one day, the police gonna be there, and I will die. So I live my life in a way to where I avoid the police as much as possible. If I do get into an interaction with the police, I do everything within my power to not die, and that's me living life. But some people live with reality. It's like, oh, the police are supposed to serve and protect. If you talk politely to the police, they won't kill you. If you act a certain way around the police, they won't harm you. If you don't break the law, you won't end up in jail. That's that's reality. And yeah, like all of those, that's the way things should work. But in real life, it's not, because people are being killed by the police almost daily. And like I said, there was just a black man shot entering his own home today or yesterday.
Again? This happened all this year, I feel like.
Yeah, this year, last year, before, this has been going on for generations. And the BLM movement has brought a lot of attention to this, and people are starting to move accordingly. And with more people are starting to live life in the way that I do, to where it's not so much that we think and act based on the notion that the police are here to serve us, but the reality is they're killing us. So that fact is the way we're making our decisions.
Wait, so how does this tie in with this tweet? How does that tie in with that tweet?
Okay, so with this tweet, right, this woman went on a rant on Twitter, and essentially what all of these tweets culminate into, she said she said women should start marrying each other and building lives together and building communities together around women because they can't trust men with their survival. She
Oh.
says dating men is dangerous and a threat to their survival as women. And the only thing that men are really good for is for straight women to have sex with and to use as tools for their own life pleasures, whether that be like having a house, having a family, having kids, and pretty much sex. This is this woman's reality. She has been so hurt by men that she feels women should segregate themselves and build lives and communities around each other, and around having relationships with women, having friendships with women, and raising children in women dominated communities, just because men have failed her so many times in her reality. And in theory, all of that sounds good. That's the way that she thinks life should be. But I said in real life, that's not how this works. Like, humans depend on each other, female, male on male, male on female, or female on female, regardless. Humans depend on each other. And just because men have failed you in your life doesn't I'm saying it doesn't magically make life exclusively with women the better option that she feels it is. And I said she went on a major rant, man. There's so It's like men's violent behavior, new mothers being isolated from communities, mothers dying during the birth process. All of these things are true, And all of these things I have to assume have been in her experience. But at the same time, like I said, her solution for all of this was for women to marry each other and to have lives exclusively, built around women, and to only use men as tools for personal gain and pleasure. And that's just not how life works. That's just not how reality works. That's her solution is just so like it's off the wall, but it makes sense in her head based off her experiences.
I got something to say. Let me know when you're done.
Oh, go ahead,
Uh,
swing that.
so shout outs to all those high school classmates who got married or got together, had two kids or two or three kids with the same toxic guy. They between each kid they kept breaking up and coming back together, breaking up, coming back together. Every few months they would post on Facebook, "Oh, men are trash." Then the next week, "Oh, I love my husband. He's the best." Then the next week, "Men are
Mm-hmm.
trash." Bro, it happens so much. Like it's crazy. And this tweet reminded me of what if they had a Twitter like this platform, they would say this.
Mm-hmm.
They would say, "Let these men get in where they fit in," just like this person said. It's crazy and it's so annoying because you can't blame your choice in men, and you can't just categorize all men to be like that. It's it just grinds my gears when girls like that just say, "Yeah, all men are trash," when it's literally those little skinny gangster boys who ruin your life, and then they just blame all men. It's so annoying.
Let's say reading these tweets, it kind of reminds me of something that we talked about earlier in this episode of our talkcast, is to where, like I said, she's been so hurt by men that her outlook on life is to live life without men as much as possible, to stop supporting men the same way that I'm choosing to stop supporting Nintendo based on their business practices. Like I said, like it's like in my case, like, oh yeah, Nintendo did me wrong, or I feel like Nintendo did me wrong. So I feel like I should live my life, what I'm saying, with as limited interaction with Nintendo as possible in order to to save myself. And she's getting that same reaction out of all of the men from her life. Is I said I don't know her life. I have no idea anything about her. I don't even follow her on Twitter. I just came across this because it popped up on my feed. But apparently, she's been so hurt by men relationship wise, sexually, physically, that she thinks her solution is to just give up on men. Like she thinks that, if she revolves her life and safety around women, that's the way that she should go through her life. And I just it's
Yeah,
a catch 22.
yeah.
Because like I say, you can't live without human interaction. You can't live without men the same way men can't live without women, because you need a man and a woman to create life.
She's basically saying that men are objects, and that's not true at all.
Yeah, I didn't want to bring that one up. Yeah, she definitely broke down men to the point to where we weren't even people or humans anymore. We were objects strictly for sexual pleasure, procreation, and tools of safety for the rare. She called us a unicorn. If you scroll down one of her tweets, she says the unicorn of men. Yeah, say the unicorn man who is emotionally present, respects women, and honors consent. She thinks a man who is emotionally present, respects women, and honors consent, that's a unicorn to her. Like that, those three qualities in a man are so rare in her life that she just believes she can't find one. Or I can't live without Nintendo. Bet money, Anna. Bet money. I'll sell you this Switch. What's up? 200 right now.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll sell you my Switch.
I agree. So in this case, yeah, that's what we've been saying, that she thinks all men are just horrid monsters. Um, and yeah, we shouldn't just throw her to the sharks. You're right. Um, but at this point, she's been hurt so much that I think there's little we can do. Honestly, like it's kind of sad.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything we can do for her. She may be lost. She needs therapy. She needs to talk to somebody somewhere and to get over her own traumas. But again, it boils back to living life versus living in reality. Like I said, her life experiences have taught her that um, men are objects and men are trash and she should rely on women, versus the reality of men and women need each other to get through life. And it's not about, harming each other and using each other to get through life. It's about coming together and trying to have a successful life based on all of the positives that we provide each other, and making up for each other's shortcomings.
Hey, look what somebody said. I was reading through the thread. So somebody said, "You do know that women don't have to be stuck in survival with men, right? You can get a job and take care of yourself and stay to yourself. It's just easier to be taken care of by men and then blame them for the laziness of modern women."
This tweet was so fire until the
Crazy.
last 5 words. This tweet was so fire until the last like few words.
Laziness
You
of
you
modern
don't
women? What do you mean?
yeah. So look, this person was spitting, bro. Like, he's like, you don't have to be stuck in survival with men. That's correct. There's no one forcing you to live your life with someone you don't feel safe around or someone you don't deem worthy to be in your life. He was spitting right there. He said you can get a job, take care of yourself, and stay to yourselves. The things that women expect out of men. You get a job, you take care of yourself, you take care of your family, or you can stay to yourself and take care of yourself and be single. That's something that women expect out of men. Again, back to their preferences. He was spitting. And then he said, it's just easier to be taken care of by men. False. Like, it's just false.
Wait. How is that false?
It's
It doesn't have to be a woman here. It could be man or woman. It's
because,
just easier to be
yeah,
taken care of
so
by another
when you,
person.
yeah, if they would have said it's easier being taken care of by another person, then he would have continued spitting.
Okay.
But it's the etymology of this statement. It's easier
Oh, I
being
see.
taken care of by men or by a man.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
It's like that's objectively not true.
Yeah, that's
Because
true.
if you can't trust a man with your safety or your well being or to take care of your family, and in her experience, none of the men she's been with have taken care of her safety, her sanity, or her family. Like this statement is just objectively false. And
Yeah.
to say it's easier being taken care of by a man is to not only objectify the man, but to objectify yourself. Because now you're looking at yourself as this object, and the whole point of your life is to be taken care of by a man.
Yeah, Hera says this last sentence sounds just like the OP, like the what's it called? The person who made the tweet, the woman.
Yeah, facts. So it's easy being taken by men, and then blame them for the laziness of modern women.
Yeah.
I don't even have I don't, even have, I don't have words for that. It's like
so
you want to objectify yourself and men to put yourself on a pedestal that you have to be taken care of, and then you say you're gonna blame them. You're gonna blame men for the laziness of modern women. Modern women are working harder than women have ever have in history. Women are fighting for their right to live, to not be harassed, to have comparable and
income.
competitive edges in the workplace and in the workforce. Women right now are, let's say, they're striving as hard as they ever have, and now you're saying that modern women are lazy and should just be taken care of by women. It's as
Yeah.
That's just objectively wrong. So
Oh,
this person
toast.
will say they were spitting at first, but now they're just objectively wrong.
Yeah, toast. So right now we're just talking about this tweet. Basically, to summarize in one sentence, this woman tweeted out that men are trash and all they're good for is sexual pleasure. And that and then basically a lot of people agree with her, and we don't agree with her. We just think that she's been hurt so much that she just feels this way, and it's you can't correct somebody like that that's been hurt so much. Aimee Nunu does think that if she finds a gentleman or a kind man, she's gonna change. But I don't know. Like she's so like hurt and I don't know. I don't think it's maybe it's possible. We'll see. But I feel like she's just shut out that idea from her mind, and I don't know if it's possible.
When it comes, I think when it comes to telling women, oh yeah, you just have to wait for the one, or you have to meet a gentleman who's willing to give you the life you deserve. I will say is that men are definitely trash. Men are definitely trash, and finding that that gentleman is essentially like digging for gold or like finding like a diamond in coal. Um, not all men are good men. I'll even go so far as to say a majority of men
Yeah,
aren't like they're just not the definition of good men that good men should be.
bro. She
However, comma,
Blitz just
I
noticed
said
that
this.
she's an astrologer. Sorry,
Oh yeah, man, I could. I'm not gonna talk about that. I'm
that's a
not.
whole
That's
different
that's
issue.
for
But
another. That's for another episode. But like I said, it's in in life, right? So we tell women, oh yeah, just find you a good dude, find you a gentleman, find someone who will provide for you the way you deserve to be provided for. But reality has shown women that men are dangerous, men are trash, men are scary. You should fear men. You should, you know what I'm saying, you should live your life in a way that you have as least interaction with trash men as possible, while also finding that good man who isn't as abundant as the trash men who want your attention. So there's no right answer.
yeah,
There's no right answer. There's no right way of going about things. Because I don't consider myself a trash man, but the women I've dealt with in the past may,
hmm,
just because of their experiences with me.
yeah. I mean, Nunu, you're right. Everybody has a chance to change, and if you shut down a person that hard, then you turn into the thing that you were so easy to say that you're not. Okay, I can see your point.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
By
You're right.
by completely desert like by completely segregating men out of her life, the way that she says she wants to do, she's essentially broadcasting herself as a trash woman. That's just facts.
Yeah, and I do agree with second chances. So yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm one of those people. I think you are too, Slain. That you don't judge a book by its cover and you believe in second chances. Um, just my initial thought when I read this tweet is that she is not one of those people. That's why like it's hard to see somebody change when you come out. You just seem like that. But you're right. Yeah, people can change sometimes. I totally agree.
People can change. I'm actually on the other side of the fence. I think people don't change.
Oh, really?
I'm a so like I have a few rules of dating, and one of my main rules is we don't like I never date exes. I will never go out with an ex because one, people don't change, and that leads into two of whatever was a problem before will continue to be a problem in the future. Because I don't believe people change. They may they may alter the way they interact with you, but I don't think people change. I believe whoever you are is who you're gonna be in life. But that does like have a few like bullet points, because there are some things that change your life forever. Like being 13 years old and having $10,000 owed to you, and then you get finessed out of it. That'll change your life forever. Cause
But do you think people change their principles, their core values? Does that ever change, or at what age does it change? What do you think about that? And chat, let me know as well.
principles, yes, I think people can develop new principles and outlooks on life, but their core values, no. I don't think core values ever change. If you feel like um if you feel like life should be a certain way, if you feel like people should be a certain way, if you feel like the life you live should go a certain way, I don't think those things ever change. But your experiences kind of tweak the way you go about getting those things. Like if I date a woman, like if I say like my preference, right? If I want to date a woman without kids, I don't think that's ever gonna change.
Oh,
Like I
I
can
see.
date a woman with kids. I can date a woman with kids, and we can be happy. But it'll never change the fact that I would have preferred someone without kids. Or if I live my life in constant fear of the police.
Yeah.
Even if the police tomorrow never killed another black man in history, I would go through the rest of my life still believing I could die at any moment interacting with the police.
I think Meany's right. He said I think it depends on what the change is for. So yeah, I agree with that. So let's say somebody is a Trump supporter who's racist.
Hmm.
Honestly I don't know if that could even be. Maybe there's rare chances that could change. Maybe they take a class or they get to meet new people and maybe they move out of they racist parents' house. Maybe that. It's just hard to believe somebody can change when a core value, because racism for me is a core value, and that's super hard to take out. I don't know if it's possible to completely 180 change that for one person to be like not racist anymore, but I don't know. It's tough to say if somebody would change when it comes to racism, but in other types of changes, like for example, being more responsible, communicating more, I think that those changes are possible and they should be encouraged. But some of them are not. I don't know. Like, do you
When it
think?
comes,
What do you think about that? Do you think Trump supporters who are racist could ever be not racist?
I think so. I grew up. I was born and raised in the South. Racism is definitely a taught behavior, and it can be unlearned. Racism isn't cultural. Like no one. I mean, no, no. Racism is cultural. Nobody is born racist. Like you're not born thinking you're superior to another race of people. All of those things have to be taught to you through your culture and your upbringing. So I do believe it's possible to unlearn or to relearn racism. So in that regard, people can change because you can be racist. Let's say the first 25 years of your life, and then something can happen to you, or you can meet someone, or just some event in your life can change your outlook on that specific ideal of racism. So I think that's possible. But
But
at
you
the
said
same time, I
people
said
don't
when it comes
change.
to
Yeah, you said people don't
no,
change.
I'm still speaking. So when it comes to racism, like as a core value, though, um, it can change. It changed the way you look at it, but a racist will still be racist. You feel me? So, for example, right, you can be racist and say, "I hate black people. I think they're inferior to me, and they should do whatever I say." And then 25 years later, you can date a black person and be like, "Oh, this is the best thing that happened to me." And then you break up. Well, now you feel the need. Oh, I only date black people, which is still racist because just because you're not, it's not the same method of racism. It's just you're still seeing black people as, like I said, something vastly different from yourself, and you're taking the qualities of being black and applying it to that specific person. You see, it's really complicated to explain, but it makes sense in my head. Like you see what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, Nunu. Yeah, you're right. So that's the problem though. What he says, well, what it would take is for you to take the first step, and that's true. But it's hard to imagine somebody with such core values to take the first step to not be racist. That racist is just an example, but it could be any other thing. Um, but taking that first step is super important. But do they have the ability to? Maybe they do go through a almost like they almost die, a near death experience that changes their whole outlook in life. And I honestly don't know the answer. Are they gonna still be in race? Are they still gonna be racist or not? That's for them to decide, and it's a tough question to answer. Hera says, so it's not a preference. What do you mean?
Um, I can't even really put it in words, but in a nutshell, I don't think people change. I think um, you can you can change the way you think. You can change your decision making process. You can change your outward appearance, but as a person, I feel like you may change in one aspect as a person, but you're not gonna change who you are.
Mm,
Like for me, example, right? I'm just like I'm this black dude. I like anime. I play video games. I choose to date certain women based on my preferences. Like there's a bunch of things that make up me and my personality. And let's say, right, let's say if I was racist, like I hate white people. Let's say right, if I suddenly stopped hating white people, I still like anime. I still like video games. I still am an active duty member of the military. I still value my family over everybody and everything in this world. Like I, as a person, don't change. I just change in certain aspects, and that just comes with like maturity, with life experience. Yeah, maturity and life experience. So just because one part of me changes doesn't mean I've changed as a person. That's the way I think about it.
I think Heda got a little bit confused with what you said because remember when you said that somebody was racist and then all of a sudden they date a black person and then they break up and then that person only dates black people and then
Yeah,
you said that makes them racist. So Heda was a little bit
yeah, you're
confused.
still a racist
But he says
because
it's
okay,
not a
so
preference. He's
no, that's not a preference. So, well, yeah, it is a preference. It is a preference. But Pete, this right. So if you racism takes many forms. This is kind of an in-depth topic. Racism does take many forms. If I hate if I hate you based on your race, that's racism. Because if I actively oppress you based on your race, that's racism. Now, on the flip side, you can also have too much of a positive outlook on someone based on their race. So like whenever you see like white women or like Asian women and they say, "Oh, I only date black guys. I only have sex with black guys. I want my baby to have black genes because I feel like black people have superior genes." All of those things are inherently racist because um you're not seeing the qualities of that person as a like who they are as a person. You're associating them exclusively to their race.
but I'm
Like, oh
confused.
yeah, I want my baby to have good hair, so I only date black people. Like, I'm not a person to you. I'm just a black person with good hair. Or you say like I only date white women because in my past black women have yelled at me and they've beaten me. Well, now I'm not seeing Shanice as Shanice. I'm seeing her as black woman who beats me or black woman who yells at me. Like,
But that sounded like remember when the first question was about preferences. So that sounded like remember when you said I want my like for example I want my woman to cook. Like is it racist to say I want a like I thought you said that you wanted to for example you said you wanted to date black girls or something. Is that not like what's racist and what is not racist? Because at the first question, the answer to your answer to the first question about preferences is seems different now. So can you clear that up for the
um,
chat?
yeah, like I said, it's a really in-depth topic
Yeah.
because it boils down to like I said, it does boil down to why you have your preferences. If I say I don't date black women because in my experience they've all berated me, right? That's my experience, but I'm not gonna go oppress black women based on that because that would be racism. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go on Twitter and be like, all dark skinned girls are gonna beat you and oppress you and berate you. That would be racist.
Hmm.
But just because I don't date you because I believe you will oppress me, you will berate me with you being black, a black woman, that's not racism because it's not that I'm putting you down by not dating black women.
I see. Okay.
I said racism is an entirely separate topic, and
Yeah.
that goes really in depth because the definition of racism itself is to, in some way, shape, or form, oppress another race based on, like I said, your views of that race. So for me to not date black women, I'm not oppressing them by not dating them. I'm not causing any harm in their life or any change in their life by not dating them.
Yeah, and that's true. There,
But
what Heda
yeah,
said right now. Yeah.
wait, what did he say? That's what I'm saying. Though there is no need for anyone to justify your purposes. Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. That's facts. That's facts.
All right. So this kind of
Yeah,
kind of ties in. I
that's
don't.
all I got on that.
All right. So the next one is do relationship breaks exist? Um.
You can go
So
first.
yeah. So basically, I don't think they exist. It. I don't know. It's a little bit. I honestly um, feel like if a relationship, like if they break up, or if they want, if the both people want to break, or if one person wants a break in the relationship, that's a breakup to me. Um, oh, thank you, money for the follow. So I think that's. I don't think breaks exist because once you go into a break, usually like that means that either the man or the woman or whoever it doesn't matter who it is, both partners are gonna do different stuff, and they might like look around and try to see, oh, maybe this person is the one, maybe this person is the one, and then eventually come back to the original person, and then they'll be like, oh, I took a break and I went and I thought about myself and I had a uh I just thought of it and I couldn't stop thinking about you, blah blah blah. So that's why I don't think breaks exist, because once a break happens, it should be a breakup, and if it's not a breakup, it's gonna there's a high chance it's gonna turn into a toxic relationship. And that's from what I've seen, my experience seeing a lot of my friends, I guess, in real life, and also um, online and offline and online. So I've seen a lot of people go into breaks, and then eventually the relationship is never the same anymore, and they always break up. I've never seen a relationship that is successful where they take a break, a substantial break. I'm talking about, not just like a 2 hour break. I'm talking about like a lot of days in between, because then honestly, that's never gonna work out. It's gonna turn into, yeah, entanglement. It's wait, what? That's a Will Smith reference. It's gonna turn toxic, and the thing with Will Smith, that's something completely different, because I feel like it's different because they already have kids. They've been together for years and years and years, and that happened, and that relationship is never going to be the same. And I stand by that. I don't know them personally, but I feel like their relationship is never going to be the same because of that break they took. What do you think?
Um, so taking a break in a relationship can mean multiple things. Um, I'm trying to find the words to bring this together. Um, Typically when I hear the words take a break in a relationship, is usually because some aspect of that relationship wasn't working out well enough, and one or both of the parties just wants to get away for a little while. That can either mean they just want to be away from that person physically, but still be in a relationship tied together and faithful to one another, or it can be, I said, they want to have that breakup where we intend to get back together, but during the time of our break, I'm gonna explore the options of what would happen if we didn't get back together. Um, I'm gonna go into some of my trauma here. Back when I was dating in high school, um, I dated this girl. We dated for 3 years total, like 2.5 years total. But in the beginning of it, we dated maybe like 6 months, and during that time, it became abundantly clear to me that she didn't trust me well enough, and I had a problem with not being trusted. So I told her, I said, "Look, I just need I need a break pretty much. I need some time away from you to consider, like I said, do I feel like going through with this relationship where I don't feel trusted and I don't feel valued?" And during this break, I had no intention of dating anyone else. I didn't want to see anyone else. I had 100% intention on coming back to her after this break, and I did. So it wasn't that I took a break because I felt like I wanted to explore other options. I took the break because I just needed some time away from, you know, saying, the burdens that I was experiencing in that relationship. But I did have plans to come back to it. So in that sense, I do think breaks exist. and are successful. Because I did go back to that relationship, and after I went back, we had a pretty successful relationship from that point because I was able to, you know what I'm saying, I was able to get away from her. I was able to collect my thoughts without, I'm saying, um, I was able to collect my thoughts without wondering. I was able to collect my thoughts without the responsibility of being a boyfriend. You know, I was me. I could think freely as me. Oh shit! I just refreshed. Okay, I was able to think. I was able to think freely as me. I was able to make decisions as just me. I was able to do things without consequences arising from those things because I was able to be selfish pretty much because essentially I was single. It was just me during the break. And after I went back, I'm saying I communicated with her, you know, I'm saying I thought about certain things. I will stand for this, I won't stand for this. And after we had that talk post break, we were able to work through the situations that we were having before the break. And I think that if it wasn't for me taking that break and stepping away from our relationship, then their relationship wouldn't have worked out as long as it did. Um, Ultimately, though, their relationship didn't work out
Yeah.
because of a different trauma
Okay.
and a different thing and different things that happened during their relationship. But the reason that I chose to take that break ended up being something we worked through because of the break. So I do think breaks exist to the regard of stepping away from the person, stepping away from the relationship, stepping away from the burdens of being in a relationship in order to work through the problem you're having that caused the break. Because sometimes you can say if you're having a problem with someone and you're communicating with them and you're spending a lot of time around them, you can't always work you can't always work through that problem. You can't always talk through that problem, no, regardless of how good your communication is. Because I said, whenever a problem is at the forefront of your mind, it kind of it occupies a space that can be taken up by something that's less harmful mentally for either party. So I think the issue with breaks comes from people who use breaks as an excuse for
Yeah.
ill intention.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, look, we having this problem, and I'm gonna take a break to think about it. When in like when their intentions are really to, oh, I'm gonna use this break, and I'm gonna go talk to other people and explore other options. And if I think a better option is somewhere else, I'm gonna leave this person. I'm gonna use this break as an excuse to do that. That's why I feel like breaks don't work out. It's so to answer the question, do relationship breaks exist? I do think breaks exist when the purpose for them and the intentions for them are to solve the problem causing the break.
Yeah.
But when people say, I want to take a break because they don't want to be in that relationship anymore, well, it's not really a break at that point. It's an excuse.
So
It's
what do you think
just
is more common
it's
though?
a trap door almost.
What do you think is more
Huh?
common?
Oh yeah, I think it's definitely more common for people to use the break
Yeah, me too.
as as the excuse
Yeah.
to say, oh well, this person doesn't trust me, so I'm gonna go date somebody else who will trust me. That's using a break as an excuse versus this person doesn't trust me. I need some time away from them to, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like getting ready for a court case. I need to solidify the things I'm gonna say without them being around me to contradict me every twist and turn of this process. And then I'm gonna come back to them. I'm gonna lay down what I gotta say, and then at that point we can have a discussion on everything that I've prepared to say, and then I'm saying you can give your input on it, and then we can work through the problem and solve it. And hey, like, even if we don't solve the issue of the break and we end up breaking up at that point, I feel like it's not an excuse. It's just we had a problem that we couldn't work through, regardless of the channels that we went through to resolve the problem. But the major issue is let's say when people use, oh,
Mhm.
I'm gonna take the break. I need a break, baby, or I want to take a break from you to kind of collect my thoughts. When the whole time your intentions aren't to collect your thoughts or to work through the problem, it's to explore other options. And then now you have the option select of, oh, I can have other options, I can explore other options, and if one of those is better, I'm gonna explore that avenue. But if those options are trash, I can fall back on this relationship that I'm already in. That's when using a break is trash.
Okay. Um. Yeah. So I see your point, and I do like. I'm very like. I really want to agree with you, and I do see your point. But I just feel like if you need to work through stuff. Okay. So first of all, why do you both need a break? Why do you need a break? Because there was a problem. There was an issue. Something came up. Um. Then your partner should be there. That's why they're your partner to work through some stuff, to work through that issue, that problem. And if you don't both work on that together, I feel like that's when the relationship it's not as solid as you thought. And that's just my opinion, but I see your point, and you're right with what you said.
Well, let's say typically when it comes to breaks, whatever the problem is that's causing a break, it's not something that it just came up. This is something that has to be such a burden on both of you guys' mentalities that being apart is the only way that you have the time and capacity to think and work at it. Like I said, in my case, it was trust issues. On her side, she had so much doubt in her mind that she couldn't trust me regardless of what I did or said to her. And then on my side, it was I I didn't have the mental capacity to deal with her insecurities. Like nothing I said, nothing I communicated, nothing I did was getting through to her to the point to where I felt like she trusted me enough to be trustworthy. And the only way that we solved that was one, it was the break. She needed time away from me to experience what it's like being away from me, and that kind of forced her to see me in a way that, okay, regardless of what he's doing, or whatever it is he's doing, whatever he's gonna say, he's gonna come back to me, and that forced her to trust that I would come back to her. And when I did come back to her eventually after the break, it verified those thoughts that she had when I wasn't around. And that is what helped her build her trust in me. And then on my side, it was, look, I can't be with someone who doesn't trust me. Nothing I'm saying is getting her to trust me. Nothing I'm doing is getting her to trust me. So the thing that I can do is I can take a break from her, and I gave her my word that I will come back. And after our break, which was maybe like 2 or 3 weeks, I think it was, I came back to her. And that was what it took for her to realize that I'm a man of my word. I'm a man worthy of trust. I'm a man who, let's say, I do what I say I'll do. I say what I mean to say. And let's say, I think the break itself, let's say they said communication was key. I think that break was the mode of communication that was the key to the success in solving that issue.
Okay.
Because her trust, her lack of trustworthiness in me came from, oh, what if he's with other girls? What if the things people say about him are true? What if the things he says he doesn't mean? Or what if the things he does are just fallacies? But and regardless of what I was doing, regardless of what I was doing and saying, short term, it wasn't enough to break through those thoughts that she had. So it took something more long term in the form of this break, and that's what it took to communicate that I was worthy of her trust.
Okay. I think
So
that's I think
go
that's
ahead.
and I agree with you. I see your point. I think that's where we differ though. The fact that you think after the break everything was went better. You think that break made it better, um, and it made it into a successful relationship. But I think that's where we differ. The fact that the definition of a successful relationship after the break. Because for me, like, you know my story, you know everything about me. So for me, when I
Okay.
see, I feel like you maybe you guys stayed together for a few weeks, a few months after that. But if it wasn't like
Yeah, like 2 years.
years or
Yeah,
longer,
it was like 2 years. 2 years.
okay, years, okay. Well, then I feel like I don't know your situation, but I have a feeling that maybe that break, maybe it might have damaged your relationship a tiny bit. But maybe you know more than me, so maybe not. And I see what you're saying though, but I do agree in the chat. Communication is key. So that's
Yeah.
why
So
Slaine says he believes in breaks, and sometimes if the break has good intentions, it might work. And I see that point. But personally, I don't. Maybe I'm just talking about me. My point of view that I don't think breaks work when it comes to me. And maybe it works for other people, and I could see why it would. Well,
okay.
wait, light
I
bite.
will say
Oh, yeah.
so
Keep going.
let's see. When it came like a successful relationship, you said you define a successful relationship by longevity.
Um,
I I think I
no.
said our break solved our issue. I said
Okay.
the issue that caused the break was a lack of trustworthiness from me on her end and the lack of being trusted on my end. And after the break, that issue was solved for us. Like we didn't break up because she didn't trust me and I didn't feel trusted. We ended up breaking up down the line because of a different trauma that was experienced. So I will say, I said the break itself was successful for us because it solved the issue that led to the break.
Okay.
But our relationship wasn't successful because of something that happened later down the line.
Yeah. Um.
Because again, yeah, we dated for like 2 years after that. So in my books, that was a successful break because it led to a successful relationship based on the problem that caused that break.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
Let's get over some petty stuff.
Yeah. So Lightbite just dropped some heat in the chat. So she says we
Yeah, I'm
need.
trying to.
Yeah, we need to normalize it being okay to talk about your feelings and not judge if you are in a relationship and actually try to work through them because it's a team. And that's true. A relationship is a team of two. Well, it could be more people, but I believe it should be relationship is a team of two people who work together, try to solve their issues, try to make themselves feel better, try to create something outside of like their own. That's what a relationship should be. And then she says because if there's a problem and people in the relationship can't get over some petty stuff, then what's the point of being in a relationship? And that's true. I agree with that.
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts.
Both parties should be mature enough to deal with anything, either if it's big or small, and that's super true. Light bite. Wait, I may Nunu just said something.
To be fair, I've been successful 3 year relationship. We had our breaks. We solved issues. None of it was a burden. Break should be a reflection on what's been going wrong. Yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make.
Okay,
Is
yeah, that's true.
when
Hmm.
when you use a break as a means to act. So I will say a break is only a good thing when it works.
Yeah,
That's I think that's what it boils down to. When you have a problem and you use a break to solve it, only when it solves that problem was the break a good idea in the first place. Because if you have a problem and you take a break and you come back and you still don't solve that problem, well, now the break doesn't seem like such a good idea because now it's just a waste of time. It didn't work. I didn't get the result I wanted.
yeah, I could see that. I mean, thank you for that comment. I mean, Nunu, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that was fire. Good
It
job.
it's okay and normal to express and vocalize your feelings. The problem is that the other person either neglecting or not taking those feelings seriously. And that's a whole another issue, Blitz, when one partner is ready and is committed and responsible and the other one is not even listening to them. It's they're just taking their comments with a grain of salt. And that's not cool. Both partners should be on the same page. And if they're not, then that's when I don't think breaks work. When both partners are not on the same page, that's when you should just call it quits.
Okay.
And I think that brings us to the last thing we had. So any questions from chat? And that's what we're doing right now. So
Yeah.
that's cool.
So go ahead, drop those comments in the chat. If you have any literally anything you want to ask, anything you want to talk about, anything you want advice about, just go ahead and drop that in the chat.
Or if it's even
And then
personal about us, me and Slaine, we're both open books. It doesn't matter.
see, my expressions of feelings were taken as if I were just complaining. Facts. I think when it comes to feelings, it's kind of like my way of viewing breaks. Talking about your feelings is one of those things to where it's only a good idea when it is successful. Nobody wants to talk about their feelings and then still have the relationship been successful because it just feels like you wasted your time and effort.
Hmm.
Yeah, so both parties got to be willing to listen and help. Also, um, you have to be willing to listen and to help, but you also have to solve the problem or solve the issue. If you're not always gonna get that, like I can express to you like I'm not happy. I can feel unhappiness. I can tell you I'm not happy, but at the end of the day, if we never work through the reason that I'm not happy, then what was the point of telling you I'm not happy? What was the point in putting in all the effort into expressing I'm not happy?
Yeah.
So it kind of goes like communication goes so much further than like I said than talking about your feelings or showing your feelings. Communication has to be about actually working through the reasons that you feel whatever feelings that you're feeling. And that's bars.
Yeah. So I think
What do we
we can.
what do we think about monoliths?
Yeah.
We gonna die.
So I don't know much about it. I've just seen it on the news that there's these things that have been appearing in different states. Um, so I honestly don't know much. I feel like if it's a prank, it's a huge prank and successful prank. But if it's not, like I honestly I don't deny the fact that there's UFOs and aliens. Um, I don't know if I believe in it, but I don't deny it. I'm in the middle. But if it has to do with that, it's a little scary, honestly, if it's them.
I look. I 100% believe that there is other life outside of humans in the world and in the galaxy and all that. Right. These monoliths, I can almost guarantee you, it's either one person like with money or it's a group of people who have money. They're just building these things. They're taking them around. They take pictures. They send these pictures to media outlets, and then they move it somewhere else. This like it's gonna take a lot more than a 2x4 made of metal
Yeah.
and a couple of I'm saying scratches on it and inscriptions to make me believe that now is the time that other beings are gonna reach out to Earth.
Yeah, I do think that on this Earth we have a lot of creepy slash scary slash unknown mystery stuff going on. Um, and some stuff is like you can't explain it, and this is one of them. I feel like you're right. There might be people pranking us. They have all this money. They're shutting off all the cameras around it, or they know where the cameras are not shooting 24/7, so they put it there, and then it just they're just trying to make a scene, get on the news. But then again, there is a chance that that Frieza might pull up, like Keda said.
Freeze up and pull up, bruh. Hello, monkeys. Like, well, this is it, boys.
Oh, the monolith here was stolen. Wow.
Unfortunate. Not my problem.
Yeah, there's no way we're gonna get details on that. Like, the person who stole it is not gonna post it on Twitter or anything.
Facts. Like this is the way I see it. Like we still haven't even explored the entire ocean yet. We're still
Yeah.
finding and discovering new creatures in the ocean on certain continents. Certain creatures that have been in hiding because they've really adapted to avoiding like people. So to say that there is not more life out there is a complete fallacy. There's definitely more life out there. There's more intelligent life. There's no way humans are the most intelligent and most advanced life form in being. There's just no way. So if if aliens want to show up one day, That's it's their business. There's probably gonna be a war, so be ready for that. Cause humans are trash and we ain't going like that. So if Frieza show up, just know I got this shotgun ready, and it may not do nothing, but I'm gonna shoot DB. We gonna find out.
Yeah, I heard today San Diego had one. That's why.
Man, it's a hoax. I don't believe.
All right, guys. Well, if there's no other questions, we're gonna wrap it up. So, any last questions for us or about anything that we talked about today? So, let's go over what we talked about today. So, going up the document today, we talked about should we continue to support Nintendo, and that was literally an hour long conversation. That was the longest one, but it was worth it. Number two, annoyances in today's Smash Online community. We talked a lot about funny, funny stuff, different
Man,
people in the community that should get this roast. Number three, men aren't allowed to have preferences, so we talked a little bit about that. Number four, we talked about the woman on Twitter who says that men are trash. Number five, do relationship breaks exist? We talked about that. And then number six, that's what we're going through right now. So $200 for the Switch, says Hera, for you.
200. I said you can have it, bro.
Oh
200.
yeah, I have to share two facts for me and Richie. Okay, so Slaine, you share a fun fact, and I'll share a fun fact of me. Um, so something that not a lot of people know about you. You want to say something?
Oh, I was not ready for this. Let's see, just a random fact about me that people don't know.
Yeah.
It's only episode 2. If we're gonna be doing this, then it'll get deeper. So, fun fact about me that you might not know: my name is Torian Williams, born and raised in Memphis. I don't go by my name because the reason I got my name is my mom had a childhood friend named Torian, and that friend was a woman. So essentially, I'm named after a woman, and I don't like my name. So I've gone by many names throughout my life, such as Ren, Ren Jitsu, Kid Goggles, Slim Jimmy. Most recently, I go by Q and Slaine. Slaine being my FGC persona, and Q just being the name I give to people because it's easy to remember. Um, I'm 25 years of age. I'll be 26 this month, and I'm leaving the military in about a month, and I plan on staying in San Diego. Yeah, the Seraph. Yeah, Slaying the Seraph. So the Seraph comes from I played this game on PSP called Disgaea, and there was a six-winged angel man named Seraph Lamington, and he was a bad guy, but he was a good guy at the same time. And the only reason he was a bad guy was because his methods of doing things didn't reflect his vision of his end goal. So it was like, look, I want all people to experience heaven, but I gotta kill them first. So that's kind of a semi persona that I took for myself because I see myself as I'm a good person, but the way I go about doing things sometimes isn't always, very heroic. So slaying the Seraph, and this that might be changing to slaying the syrup because of Among Us.
One fun fact. Oh, you said a bunch of fun facts. So my fun fact, I guess, the fact that in high school, I think Hera can attest to this. I used to bring every single day of my junior year. I had bread, I had a bottle of Nutella, and I had the movie Inception in my backpack every single day of high school.
Why?
Just in case a substitute teacher pulled up, I'd be like, "Yo, substitute teacher, let's watch Inception." And then it never
This
worked. It never worked, but just in case. And then during lunch, I would be with all my friends and give them all Nutella sandwiches. That was kind of cringe, but it was worth it.
that's hilarious. All right, folks, that's all from me.
Yeah.
So
All right. Cheers,
9:30,
everybody.
it's past my bedtime. I'm empty.
Oh,
So
cheers for everybody that has a
yeah,
drink.
so, like, I'm empty. Shout out to Jack Daniels for the glass. It's back.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Um, it was really fun tonight. We talked about Smash, but we also went into our experiences in our life, giving advice. This man was prepared. We exiled him. Yeah, that's true. That's why he had to kick me out of his friend group. I remember that.
That's funny.
But yeah, it was super fun, guys. So today, I guess we're gonna raid somebody who I'm gonna. So basically, he's of course you know EE, right, Slaine?
Who?
EE,
Oh yeah, E. Yeah,
TK's
he's
favorite,
playing
TK's bro,
the homie.
the
Yeah,
homie.
Phil. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I
So
know Phil.
he's hosting a pimp my stream contest. So I'm gonna submit. I'm gonna give a submission, and then hopefully he remembers me with this raid. So thank you everybody for being here.
With the raid. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah. So it was super fun, guys. If you have any other questions for me and Slaine, you know, you can always hit us up on Twitter, on Messenger. I think we have almost all of you on Facebook added. And yeah, it was super fun. Bye everybody, and please stick around for this raid if you can. Oh, I'm so bad. Let me do it again. There it is.
Hey,
All right,
Colin, I absolutely want to follow up to last week. I'll join your Discord call.
all right. Thank you everybody. It was super fun, and I'll see you guys. I'll see you everybody on Discord right now. It's pretty early. I'll see everybody on
It's
Discord.
9:30. It's bedtime.
All right, bedtime for Slaine. Bye everybody, and thank you for the subs.
I have to work tomorrow. All right, folks.
Bye.